I mean, you do that, and you just know that I'm going to do this, so I don't know why you do it.
Do what?
This countdown.
Oh, yeah. That's fair. Also, hello and welcome everybody to episode 15 of the Corpse Party. Name to be determined when whatever goofy things happen during the session, and oh boy, will goofy things ever happen, as they always do.
Can't
Um,
wait.
oh yeah. Um, so last time our heroes finally made heroes. Last
We are
time.
heroes. We
Hey,
saved. No, we saved Beepo.
hey now, Trisnag literally has folk hero on his character sheet.
You know what? That's fair.
We saved Beepo.
I'm going to use the word adventurer though, because I feel that is more. I feel that is closer to accurate. Um, Last time our adventurers had just finally conquered. Well, actually, you had finally. Creed had finally killed the drow that his patron had tasked him with killing. There was a brief little interaction that happened between the two. Needless to say, his contract is going to be renegotiated. Kind of. We'll get to that later. The fun stuff. Um, Meanwhile, they went on to try and conquer the rest of the dungeon, running into a lot of traps. They managed to carefully devise their way through it, eventually falling for the biggest trap of all, the pitfall trap that led them into a fight with a death knight. It's a pretty harrowing combat, very fun for them. Um, After that, they made their way into his personal chamber. They found out a little bit about him through his personal chamber. Then they made their way up to a grand library where they met the goodest of boys, Beepo. Beepo gave them a bunch of little gifts as he was instructed to do so by their master. He left them a little message as well, and then directed them to go up a little ladder when they asked him how to get out of here. And we're just gonna. Well, actually, if anyone wants to add anything interesting, from last session as a highlight, they're welcome to. We'll start with you, A.
Beepo.
Yep, Beepo. What about you, Robot?
Things I remember.
Mm-hmm.
I remember the big man in his room with the chess and the lived-in kind of atmosphere, and then we killed him, or we killed him before that. Much sadness, but we got his stuff.
Uh, Zai, really quickly, if you can, what's one thing you remember from last session, if you are able to speak? If not, then I'll just wait like 5 seconds.
Special eye.
Yeah, you got your special eyes. All right, I think that's as good of things any. So let's get back in the setting. You guys were inside of Zlimzath's old library. You'd just been directed to the ladder. You had also retrieved the soul of Belsgor, which congratulations on that, by the way.
We did it.
Yep, you guys did it. You did the thing. So you guys were in the middle of climbing up the ladder, even. Um, so let me go ahead and try to get the scene here. As you guys climb the ladder, you reach what is a fairly large attic, or at least what you expect it to be an attic. But instead, you are met with a beautiful garden. Instead, with a slight little greenhouse overhead. There is also a small little observatory room that you see slightly at the far end of this place, where you see a large telescope that looks up into the sky. Not that you imagine there'd be too much use to it now with the giant negative energy dome over this area. Also inside this room, you see that there are several undead who, when you walk up, turn to you for a brief moment before ignoring you. They appear to be only. Sorry, my throat is finally clearing up. I was hoping that this would happen before session. Um, you see that they are only interested in. God damn it. Damn it. All to hell. You see that they are only interested in tending to the plants. In fact, with many of the zombies and or skeletons, there's a mixture of the two up here, you notice there are even plants growing out of their body. You also notice that there are large vats filled with green liquid that you see that a few of the skeletons appear to be dropping some dead plant matter into. You hear a brief kind of churning sound, and then a funneling, and then you can see that there are tubes that lead downwards. Also, you notice that there are a few tables set out with one notebook written on it, and there's also a peculiar looking skeleton that looks very different from the rest of them in that it has a very crystalline looking body to it, almost as if the body is made out of pure bluish crystal. And that's your scene. Also, I guess I would point out, it's very earthy and vegetation smell. It doesn't smell like rotting vegetation. It actually smells like fresh vegetation.
Is the crystalline skeleton at the same table as the notebook?
Sure is.
Edrigan goes over to look at the notebook, but says, "Hello."
The crystalline skeleton actually turns to you. Oh, hello there. I was not expecting guest.
Talking skeleton!
You walk into
Edrigan-
a necromancer's...
Edrigan is also surprised, but he does not show it.
You walk into a necromancer's lair and you don't expect to see a talking skeleton?
I mean,
You
To
know,
be
fair
fair, all
enough.
the previous ones have tried to kill us.
everything I know about skeletons, they don't talk. But,
To be fair, you are correct. I am a little bit special. So, introduction.
So am I. Resisting.
I'm assuming that Beepo let you up here.
Yes. Beepo.
the cute little death gazer.
Ah, yes. Master's favorite pet. Well, one of his.
Loves him so much he didn't take him with him.
Probably
No.
safer here.
Reasons. Speaking of reasons, why are you here?
Well, Beepo pulled the string and we went up the ladder, and now we're here.
I meant more, why are you in my master's lair in general, but I'm guessing from the look of at least one of you, I can tell you're a necromancer. His eyes kind of blink as they kind of glow blue for a second. Yeah, I could see the necromancer.
Edrigan tries to pay attention to the notebook.
Oh, you want this? He says as he picks it up and waves it.
Yes. Book good.
I'm not sure too much much interest it might have in to you. It's just a list of alchemy ingredients and how to properly care tend for the plants here. But if you want it,
Anything I can copy for my own fortress.
he goes ahead and hands you the notebook.
Reads the notebook.
It is exactly as he says. Mostly just notes on the care taking of proper plants. It does take specific care on how to cultivate and properly take care of things like nightshade. It starts with an H. I think it's like Hermica or something like that. I think that's right. Lavenders, lilacs, roses. Well, a lot of different kind of plants. A lot of the plants that you actually see inside this very garden. To which the skeleton, after he hands you a notebook, stands up. He's like, "Would you like to take some plant samples with you, mind you?"
Hydrangea?
Yeah, hydrangea. Thank you. That was the one.
Well, I wouldn't mind some plant samples, though I at the moment don't have a herbalism kit to actually do
Don't
anything
worry
with them.
about that. I'll just give you a minor container filled with seeds, and I'll make sure to label them. He says, waving a finger.
Well, that's nice of you.
Our master did say that if we ever had guests, that we were to treat them nicely, especially if they made it up this far without dying. How is Steve, by the way?
Dead.
Oh. That's unfortunate. I enjoyed our games of chess.
We tried, or Edrigan tried. I was kind of stuck to the floor.
Well, I imagine that if Master comes back to visit, he'll just rebuild him, so it's all good. He won't be the same, though. Right, let me get to getting these plants for you, he says as he gives a little curt clap of his hands and goes to start tending to the gardens, leaving you guys to your own devices. Tosley turns to Edrigan. They're not supposed to talk.
They're not supposed to walk around either.
So you're saying that you could make them talk if you want to?
Probably, if I tried.
Do you think maybe he's just crystals shaped like a skeleton rather than an actual skeleton?
Tosley turns
I
to
mean,
Edrigan.
You mean like the crystal downstairs?
Right.
No, he's a different color.
Well, you said like. I didn't mean yes, those crystals.
I don't know. I thought if they're different color, they're different crystals. I don't know.
No.
I'm not a gem person. I cough.
Alright, as you guys are having this squabble, the skeleton actually returns. He's like, alright, hands you a small container. Here are your seed samples.
Thank you. Are you a skeleton or are you a crystal shaped like a skeleton?
Oh, I'm a construct.
I knew it.
Master wasn't too fond of
very
constructs. Yeah, well, Master wasn't too fond of constructs, but he figured when I was in a skeleton shape, he kind of grew a little bit of an attachment to me, said I was easier to look at me.
Well, that makes sense.
He shrugs his shoulders. He's like, right, any other questions that I can help you with? I'm sure Beepo did his best to answer whatever questions you had, but he has certain limitations.
What's in the room with the gelatinous cubes?
Oh, that's just a waste disposal room.
There, see, there's nothing in there. We don't have to go back.
Well, okay.
Did you want to go see how waste is disposed of?
I was curious what's considered waste, if pesky adventurers are waste. Presumably you...
Absolutely.
Right.
We do collect the gear, though. Master has instructed that all gear that is collected from adventurers be moved to the lower tombs by... Well, he points to the kind of tubing. He's like, something around that.
Well, that adds up. Alright, no reason to go down there then.
I mean, if you want to. I'm certainly not going to stop you. And though... He looks at you, he's like, you don't seem like you want to die.
Trezena kind of looks at his tattered vestments, the bandages on him, the hole in his armor, and his lack of shoes at the moment. Think I've come close enough for one day. A few times.
That's fair, that's fair. Do you require, what's that word? Starts with an R. Rest! Do you require rest?
Our way out? Unlisted.
Oh, the way out, yes. You want to follow me? He says, gesturing towards the area where the telescope is.
Okay.
Edrigan shrugs.
Alright, you guys follow him over to the area as he kind of... Every once in a while, a skeleton might get in the way as he kind of just brushes it aside. One seem very docile. As he takes you to the area where the telescope is. In this area, you see there is another table here and numerous star charts, like way more than you would expect. As he points to a small mirror, actually, in the corner. As he goes, and there's your way out. Though I hope you have a proper destination set. Excuse me.
How do we set it?
Do you know the longitudinal coordinates of where you want to be transported to?
I don't even know the longitudinal coordinates of where we are now.
Oh, that's easy. I know those. He says, blinking.
Maybe just outside of this tower, because I think we parked our wagon nearby.
No, other side of the lake. I'm not dealing with that skeleton cephalopod again.
A lake. Right.
What? By the way, what's your name, construct?
He calls me Pierre.
Right, I'll try to remember it. You've been, helpful. I'll be sure to mention it.
As helpful as I'm programmed to be. Well, as the matrices make me. And don't feel bad if you don't remember my name. Construct is mostly what I'm referred to as anyway.
Well, I get kobold a lot, so that is how it is.
Well, I can set the coordinates for you guys if you do know them. I don't expect you guys to be able to, be able to maneuver this device unless one of you is a very, very skilled wizard.
Tristan kind of looks at
Looks at
Edrigan.
I mean, I'm good, but I've never seen this before, so...
I think that's very fair. If you'd rather leave it in my hands, believing me to be more capable, all I need is your longitudinal coordinates of where you need to be transported to.
What are the longitudinal coordinates of exactly out the other side of the lake?
Has the lake expanded recently?
I don't know. It has a skeleton octopus in it.
Would someone like to roll a knowledge nature?
Yeah, let's do this.
I would say that it's going to. I would say that this is going to be a DC 20. So it's going to be
Everybody
hard.
wants to make clackety clack sounds with their dice. I sure do.
Clickety
I have
clack
no
of the
idea.
rolling dice. Let me roll for a Tosley. That's a 12 for Edrigan. Edrigan doesn't know too. Well, that leaves it up to the last two people, who are the dub-dubs of the group. Let's see if the dub-dubs do it.
Oh wow, nature's intelligence. I didn't even realize. That's kind of weird.
The dub-dubs got the equal score. You're all like, about it. As Pierre, Well,
Edrigan sends Nightwing out to see how far out it is.
all right. It's actually gonna take like Nightwing about 2 hours to actually fly. What's his fly speed? That's actually important.
Oh, God.
What is the flight speed of an unladen sparrow?
Excuse me. He is a raven?
Well, is he an African
This
or a
is super
European
gross.
European raven?
Fae, so European.
I like that. All right. So
Oh, is he Fae?
Probably.
I thought he was Fiend.
Oh, he might have been Fiend. Alright, so
thought-
yeah, African.
That is much worse. But I just need to know.
Flight. It doesn't say. Oh, 50 feet.
Okay, 50 feet. All right. It's gonna take him an hour to make this flight. So
Okay.
you guys get to spend an hour with Pierre. So what do you guys do with your hour with Pierre so we can just rush through that?
Attuned to the periapt of wound closure.
All right. Adrian.
I think it's an hour.
Yes, an hour.
Okay.
Yeah, it's an hour.
Okay, cool.
Edrigan, what you doing with your hour?
I'm gonna check out one of those scrolls. Da-da-da-da-da-da. Oh no. Virtual book can I use from cover?
This
The
is. You could also
this
just. You
the
all could just declare a short rest as well.
okay. Short rest is fine.
All right.
Oh yeah, I am badly hurt.
Yep. All right. So everyone's taking a short rest as eventually Nightwing does return and conveys to you that the certain distance between the lakeshore and the edge of the lake. Telepathically, of
Edgergan,
course.
right? Edgergan relays the how big the lake is.
Pierre nods. He's like, "All right. Which direction are you heading? North, east, west, south?" East.
We came here from this east.
Well,
East?
actually,
East.
Yeah.
Oh no, we came here east. Did we go east to
wanna
get
go
here? We
west.
want to go west? I can't remember.
yeah. So you want to go west to get back to where you
West.
were.
Yes. Yes. Yes, that's right.
He walks over to this mirror as he turns a few knobs as it begins to glow with arcane energy, taking a slightly bluish hue to it. You then see him adjusting a little bit of a slider on it as he just kind of slightly tunes it a little bit as the mirror comes up with a crystal clear image of the other side of the lake. He's just like, all right, go ahead and step on through.
Edgergan steps on through.
Thank you again, Pierre. And Trisnag will step through as well.
Alrighty. When you step through to the other side, you notice that the image of the mirror, and of course Pierre gives you the nod back as Todd's like following along with you guys. When you guys step to the other side of the mirror, what happens is essentially you step to the portal, but when you try to look back to see where the portal you stepped out of should be, you don't see anything. It is in fact a one-way portal. When you guys I won't say fall. When you guys step out though, you do end up about shin deep in mud. For Trisnag, more like knee deep.
Ugh!
It's like you can't
Great.
really blame Nightwing. You asked to burn.
It did.
Oh, you burned a hit die. That's smart.
I was trying to find the button for it.
All right. I'd say just roll me a nature check. DC is 10 to find your cart and stuff again.
Oh, got some.
Edric. Trisnag, I'm in mud. I can't see right now.
bubbling sounds.
Bubbling sands. Alright, so Edrigan, you spot the cart not too far away from where you're currently. Yeah. So Edrigan and Creed, both of you guys spot the cart not too far away from even when you guys currently have landed. It appears that it has rained while you guys were inside the lair, crypt, whatever you want to call it.
Behold, wet dragon skull.
Unless you put.
I mean,
Yep.
not the first time. It's under a rug anyway.
Yeah.
It's wet rug.
All right. So what do you guys do from here?
So wait, where was that meeting that they wanted to do with us? It was after we talked with Fufu?
If
So you're a little quiet.
if you're talking about the meeting with your with the person that your patron's sending to do negotiations, that's going to be when you return back to Duskridge.
No, that one's between me and the patron. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the one that Edrigan was discussing with Message or something.
robe comes off. It's getting too hot in my room.
Wasn't there like a
no idea what you're talking about.
you mean
So
the drow?
I think that's what
Maybe?
I think that he is referring to the drow. Oh, and Tosley would have burned a hit die as well. I just realized that. I'm like, wait, why didn't Tosley roll a hit dice? Is it because I'm a dummy? Yes.
We're gonna go meet the drow first, then.
yes, we need to do the drow before we leave the forest.
Yeah, because no one wants to be deaded by the drow. Let me just roll. I would say that everyone just tell me how many hit die you guys did burn when you went for your short rest.
Just one.
I don't know if can I do that when I'm trying to concentrate for a straight hour on the thing? I don't think so.
In your
Probably
case,
not.
I would probably say no. Like
Yeah,
in the case of a long rest, sure you would get your HP back as normal, but yeah, during short rest, not so much. So in your case, you have reason. You have reason.
But it's attuned to the thing now, right?
Yes, you are attuned to your periaptive healing.
Okay, got it.
Oh, and Don's fucking hell. Brain! What's wrong with you?
It wants the coffee.
It can't have the coffee.
But it wants the coffee.
Alright, don't mind this. You're just gonna be on the lake for a little bit while I try and move you back to where then to the map. And then to here. Alright. You remember how you were going to get back in contact with the drow, though, correct?
There was some kind of
mushroom.
There was that streaking
Yeah,
shroom thingy,
mushroom.
right? In the bottle.
yeah. So you just kind of
Wait,
actually he gives it to Tasley. Uncork this and then throw it as high into the sky as you can.
She nods. Yes, boss. She goes ahead and uncorks it, and let me get a strength check. Well, not check, but actually no, it is check. Strength check.
Test?
See, yeah. See how far she throws it. You know what? Given that it's light as fuck, she does still get a good distance on, but not nearly as high as she could as she throws it up into the air. Eventually, it doesn't make a noise until it hits the ground. Everyone roll me Constitution saving throws.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
DCs are 13. Ugh.
Oh, one shot.
Edrigan gets a pass. Wow, Creed actually gets past too. Let's see how Tasley. Oh, poor Triznak. I think Triznak might be the only one who actually failed it. Please let Tasley fail. Yep. Everyone, as the moment they see it come to.
Stop copying my homework. Stop copying my homework.
Everyone immediately goes to cover their ears as soon as they see it hit the ground, and they see, essentially, you see the sand and grass starting to move, and you immediately realize this is about to be really loud, as Triznak is the only one who's a little bit caught unawares, not able to cover his ears in time, as you hear a deafening, ear-piercing shriek like you've never heard before in your life. You are deaf for the next hour.
Okay.
I
can't hear anything!
Oh no.
If you scream louder, you might be able to hear something.
What? Tosley. Oh. Well, I think they know that they wanted you to use that to get them. So 5 minutes pass. I will say that you can make a heal check if you want to reduce the amount of time to which you are deaf.
Sure. Is medicine?
Yes, medicine.
Alrighty.
That is a pass. Kind of gauzing up your ears a little bit and taking out some medicinal herbs that you had in your possession. You essentially begin jamming medicinal herbs in your ears to try and fix them. Like, this will work. This will fix them. As you spend around the 5 minutes doing that, and everyone else is kind of, waiting around. Eventually, you guys see a shadow creep out of the wood. It's Gorbass!
Gorbass!
Hello, Golpass.
He gives a nod. Hey.
Speaks to him in Undercommon. Hey.
And Undercommon.
I'm glad that's the one word you know.
He turns to Edgar. He's like, "So you have retrieved the item?"
We have the item. I think the assassin was smart enough to take his head. And then he leers at him.
Turns to Creed.
Leers at Creed.
Does
I know.
sorry, does how is he still deaf? Like,
Yep, he is still
Okay.
he is still deaf. It's just that he's
Okay.
only going to be deaf for the next 25 minutes now.
Okay, got it.
5 minutes have passed.
I go up to Triz.
Very kind of quiet there, Zai, which is ironic at the moment.
Yeah,
It's not ironic. It's just coincidental.
Whatever.
it works out. It's pretty accurate to how it should be for him, though.
The head.
I can't hear you. My ears are all messed up.
I forgot,
Punch to his
Gorbass.
head.
I forgot to tell you guys to cover your ears when you used that, didn't I?
No, he figured it out.
Ah, smart.
Can you try and tell me what you mean in another way?
Performance check.
Oh, I can't wait.
Performance check. It's going to be a performance check from Creed with a. I think it's insight is what I need. Yeah, insight from Trisnag.
Okay. Gotta wait for Zai's performance. Uh-oh.
And he's gone.
Maybe he's back at the computer after vacuuming.
Alright, I'm going to roll for him. Oh, he actually passes the performance check. Let's see if you pass the insight check. Nope! So, to most people, Creed gave a pretty accurate representation of trying to convey the message to you. You, however, still feel deafening pain in your ears, and every once in a while just wince and miss most of the performance that he's put on to display to kind of communicate to you, and you get nothing.
He will
out of
just
it.
go through his bag.
Yeah.
Edrigan will go up to Trisnag and cast Prestidigitation. Right, and then through not actual magic, but in a magic trick, cut off his own head, and then present the head to Creed.
That's actually fair and a very good use of prestidigitation.
Okay. Trisnag will help Creed rifle through the bag then and pull out the skull from before.
Alrighty then. And you guys do pull out the skull of the traitor.
I take it and then present it to Gorbass. Skull here.
Gorbass takes it and smiles. I can't wait to kick this around the Underdark.
Give to Matriarch first.
I mean, yes, of course. I believe after we get the tome back, I think that concludes our arrangement here, doesn't it?
I will hand the tome to the matriarch.
That's fair. You may have to follow me or wait here until I can retrieve her, though.
I will follow.
He gives a nod. As you follow him, you do see that he has his Strider not too far away.
All right, let's get the wagon ready.
Get the wagon all good to go, and you guys follow him. It does take till about late at night to where you guys reach a somewhat familiar area near the cliffs, where he turns to you guys and says, "There are other well, to at least the Edrigan's understanding, there are other drow in the area. They are already aware of who you are. I'm just going to go get the matriarch. She should be nearby."
Edrigan will hang out,
All right.
sit on top of the cart.
Wait, how long did the following him take?
It took you guys till it's essentially becoming night right now. So all the bugs are starting to come out and such. The giant insects, the fluorescent mushrooms and such. You guys are actually in the more mushroomy area of the forest here.
Do poor Trisnag's ears work now?
They sure do. They're a little sore, but they're working.
It's kind of just rubbing them and hunched over. Ah!
Oh wait, Christian.
Mm-hmm.
Do weapons need to be attuned as well, or just items?
It's a packed weapon, so no.
Okay, no, because I remember I nabbed the cloak. Is it a cloak of resistance or protection?
It should be a cloak of. I had this written down.
It was close to cloak of protection.
Okay, cloak of protection.
And then there was the bone rapier.
Which, yeah, he still has that. And that one doesn't need to be attuned. It's just, that one's just a simple bone sword.
It's a rapier that can administer poison.
Yeah.
If you nabbed it, make sure to remove it.
Yeah.
Make sure to remove it from the wagon note.
Yeah, please.
Okay.
Yeah, anything you put into your inventory, please remove it from the wagon note, so that way we do not double. For me, this rule especially applies to potions and such, so that we're not double stocking up on potions.
Yeah, potions and gold are the big ones. Named items we can probably figure out, but everything else is kind of like just a lot of, I forgot. And then who knows how much we actually have.
Ring of Spell Story.
And the Cloak of Protection, yes, the Cloak of Protection does require attunement. So
yeah, on the way, that's what I would.
And meanwhile, Trisnag could have just been taking a short rest during that time.
I think that's what he will do. Time to try out this new thing. So,
oh yes, you got Arcane Recovery now, don't you?
That, but also, the hit die are now double because of the Periapt. So let's see. I think it's 1d6 for cleric, right?
Yep. So now it's 2d6. Actually, I think they're 1d8.
I think it's the result that's doubled rather than the dice. So it's like.
Okay, that would make sense.
Yeah. Is it plus Constitution as well? I don't remember.
Yes, plus Constitution.
Okay, yeah. So then that would just be 10. So yeah, that's.
All right, so
full health.
Yep, Trisnag's up full. So he's only gone for somewhere around 15 minutes, leaving you guys kind of into the nice humming and buzzing of the forest.
May as well use Arcane Recovery as well, just for the record. So that's, in case anyone's wondering, like, why'd you get a spell slot back? There it is.
Yeah.
It's on the recording.
All right. So 15 minutes pass, and eventually the matriarch from the previous day emerges from the forest atop a very elegant looking strider, a little bit different looking from the one that you saw Gorbass riding. As she steps off her strider and looks to your group. I hear you were successful in your ventures.
Edrigan jumps off the top of the cart, and he walks up, and he holds out the book.
She, with a smile on her face, accepts the book back. You have done incredibly well.
Creed lines up behind Edrigan and is like, okay, I'll wait till he's done and I'll pass the skull.
thought we already gave
Uh,
the skull
I mean,
No,
to the.
I
Yeah,
thought
you-
so
okay.
too.
My
yeah, you
bad.
gave it to Gorbass.
Okay, fair.
And she says, well,
Yes.
as per
Happy to be of assistance.
right, as per our agreement, you will make it out of this forest safely.
Well, that's reassuring.
I am, if anything, a drow of my word. As for, she says, turning to Creed, switching to common, as for you, your patron should receive their payment soon. And hopefully you actually receive your share.
I will bow. Well, not really. Half bow. Yeah, half bow. Tridarch.
Alright, and let's see. Oh, you can keep his rapier if you desire as well. We don't need that back. She says, pointing to your bag.
He pumps his fist. Yes.
And let's see what else we could do. Just to show my appreciation for getting this task done in a timely fashion, even. Gorbass, she says as she claps as she does the. As Gorbass rolls his eyes, reaches into his satchel, and hands you guys several mushrooms, all inside of glass containers. And when I say several, it's 4.
And these are.
Gorbass in Undercommon. 2 shrieking mushrooms and he gives a smile. 2 flash mushrooms. They're useful. Very useful. Consider them a gift. If you wish to cultivate them in whatever gardens you have up here on the surface, feel free to do so. This is Sabra, of course. You're welcome to them. If you ever require our assistance again, just throw one of the shrieking mushrooms, and should it be one of my group, you should find yourself fortunate, as we will answer the call and do our best to aid you if it is within our power. Should it be another one of our drow group, though, I can't promise that you might receive the same good treatment. You understand.
But of course.
With that, though, she turns to Gorbass. Make sure they make it out of the forest safely. You don't have to escort them this time. Just make sure nothing bothers them. As she turns back to Edrigan. And farewell, she says as she takes the tome, clutching it closely, gets on back of her strider, and rides back towards the little crater. Well, cliff that leads into a crater.
Alright, team, back to Dusk Ridge. Or what's left of it.
Tosley, oh, thank God.
Yeah.
Don't say that, you know who's there.
Yeah.
He begins sweating.
While we're writing, Trisnag will actually try to get the attention of what was the I forgot his name already. Sorry,
Gorbass?
Gorbus. Yeah.
Yeah.
Excuse me. From one minion to another, I have this bag of this weird. I think this is drow currency. I don't suppose you'd have regular coins you'd exchange this for?
Gorbass kind of gestures a bit as he goes, coin, good, value, trade. He reaches into pocket, pulls out rubies and gems. Trade?
Let's see. If Trisnag can see that that's like an equal amount of value, then yes.
Indeed, he actually has more in value in terms of gems than what you are offering him in terms of the in terms of the gold chunks. But you can now trade these gold chunks, which would be unprocessed gold pieces, for gems and such of equal value if you want to.
Yeah, he'll do that.
All right. Let me just go ahead and look up the amount of gold that was again.
It was 100 left over. He used 100 as cost for the spell before, and he had 100 left.
Okay. If that's the case, then you will receive a ruby worth 50 gold pieces. So note that down for your inventory.
Mhm.
And 2 sapphires worth 25 gold pieces each.
Okay.
As Gorbas says, fair, yes?
Chizek will nod.
Yes, thank you.
Gorbas gives a nod as he continues his quote-unquote escorting, even though he's not technically escorting you guys. He's just making sure you guys are safe. So unless you guys have anything specifically planned for your travel back, we can go ahead and rush through the... You do?
Yes.
Okay.
Because I want to discover the morphing thing.
That is...
So I will be, sitting, like, trying to talk with the dagger.
As you're sitting there trying to talk with the dagger, it is mostly cold to responses, except for when you ask it pertinent questions.
So I can sense there's power in now, but what else can I do?
Mold me into the shape which you need to serve your purposes.
Okay. He grabs the bone saber from his bag, and it's like, all right, copy this.
As your golden dagger becomes a golden bone sword.
This is amazing.
As long as you have knowledge of the weapon to which I need to take shape of, I can take its shape.
You have no idea how useful this is.
I imagine very useful to an assassin.
Oh, shit. Sorry.
Creed will now test it on, like, the several different weapons he has in his bag. So the lancing, javelin.
Surprisingly, that one it cannot transform into. But
Why not?
one mistake I made last session. That is an exotic weapon, not a martial weapon.
Exotic weapon.
Yes.
We have those?
We have those.
Oh my gosh.
No questions. That being said, he can sell it for quite a bit of money. Probably to a smithy who will probably take great interest in it. But it does indeed take the shape of any weapon that you desire it to. It takes quote unquote an action to do, but
it's not fast. It's just it takes like a few seconds for it to, like, kind of morph and, like, reshape itself.
Indeed, but it does so. Anyone who is in the cart with him can see him just essentially doing this. Tosley's asleep, just like straight up, just asleep inside the cart. It's been a long day.
Weirded out by Creed talking to his knife again, Chisneg's gonna go find Edrigan. Where is Edrigan?
In the cart with the skeletons and the dragon head.
He's gonna go back there and has a few questions if Zai's done with his dagger. I don't want to interrupt the scene.
Zai?
You can go ahead. Yeah,
Okay.
I'm good. That's all. I only needed, like, an in-universe thing.
Yeah. So, hello, Edrigan.
Hello, Trisnag.
Honest, not gonna ask about teaching at the moment, but I do have other questions. I couldn't help but notice every time we travel, you sit back here with my master instead of up in the carriage. Why is that?
Edrigan points at the skeleton. The skeleton just kind of waves.
Well, that doesn't tell me much. Uh, you just want to look after your skeletons then, or?
It's easier to be here. I can escape at a moment's notice. If something bad happens, I can reposition and do wizard things.
I suppose that makes sense. I just didn't want to sit in there anymore. Creed's talking to his knife again. So I'm gonna sit with you, okay?
Don't worry, I will protect you from the spooky knife man.
Well, thank you.
That's backfired.
So then I'll be rather happy now and
What do
just
you-
stay quiet.
When you attempt to be sassy, but instead the person takes it as genuine.
Oh boy, I don't want to die! Edrigan, help!
Speak to me, my blade.
Okay, anything else you guys do?
No.
Alright.
No, Edrigan's just kind of pass out.
Okay, so you guys are okay with just me, getting you guys back to Dustridge then?
Yeah.
Yeah!
Okay. No problem then. So, it takes about the normal. It takes about the normal travel time to get back there. One thing of note is as you guys do pass that one place where you guys had that one small infestation of troglodytes, you notice that a very large wooden fence has been placed around the area.
How many rations should I remove?
Go ahead and remove 5 rations.
There goes that one. And then
The one thing of note is, of course, when you guys get to the edge of the deep woods, is that Gorbas does take up. Well, the other thing of note is that Gorbas takes his leave of you as soon as you guys reach the edge of the deep woods, saying that he won't go any further than this, but bid you guys farewell and good luck on your ventures before taking off. And tells you to be careful with both the shrieking shrooms and the flash shrooms, unless you want to have a bad time.
Do the flash shrooms do exactly what I think they do?
If you mean create a giant sphere of blinding light, yes.
Yes.
Very useful in the Underdark, since most of us have this thing where our eyes don't do too well in the light. Not sure how useful it'll be to you guys on the surface, though.
sorry, was this common or undercommon?
Undercommon. You know how he speaks. You know his common.
Yeah. I was checking.
Well, not a lot up here has the photosensitivity, but blinding light is still blinding.
That's fair. Tell Creed to keep practicing his undercommon while I'm going to continue practicing my common. Hopefully, I'll actually be able to have this conversation with you in common one day.
Won't that be good?
It'll be dandy. Why are you trying to kill him?
No, I'm testing different macros now because I think it'd be easier for me to not have 2 different weapon rolls, with one being a base attack, one sneak attack, to just have all weapon base rolls and have sneak attack as an automatic damage.
Yeah, that's fair. Okay. Outside of that little bit and the little note about the place where the Troglodyte village was having a wooden fence around it now, you guys return back to Duskridge, and oh boy, is it quite the place. You notice that the entirety of the front walls that when you guys normally enter, have been completely demolished. However, it appears that they are building new walls already, much further out. Also, of note is that you notice a considerable spike in kobold population. Looking in at the inner city, which you can see just as you guys are approaching it, you can see LeFou's castle, or at least half of LeFou's castle, has been demolished, as well as a large section of the inner city. It appears that a good section of the outer city, where the general adventure, the place where you as adventurers would spend the majority of your time, hasn't been that badly destroyed. However, you can see that there is some significant damages. You also, of note, see that there is a tower being built in the middle of not the high districts, mind you, but the lower districts. Is still being constructed. As you guys come within distance, some of the kobolds kind of look at you. Triznak, at this point, are you the one driving the carriage?
Yeah, let's go with that.
Okay.
Edgkin just kind of growls at glares at them.
They kind of just acknowledge it. They just continue working as normal. Eventually, you reach the place where where you guys normally would store your carriage. Of note is that you do not see Whisper here. Instead, you see Flick.
Oh,
and
no.
Dressed in some much better attire.
How terrible. Edgerton doesn't care about your dealings with horses and carts, and he gets out and he leaves. He goes into town.
Trisnag will, after leaving the carriage and stuff there.
So, who will be guarding the carriage and all that now?
I don't care.
That is up to me now, says Flick.
Obviously there have been a great,
lots of casualties.
Right, I'm just sort of worried about the quality of the guards. Are they up to snuff?
Well, the city's in an interesting state right now. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
As he turns to Creed and says, and slides him a piece of paper.
Creed takes it, quickly opens it.
The base has been moved. That is what the paper says.
He audibly clicks his tongue. Alright, gotta wait for Cheddar to hit then.
Don't worry, I'm pretty sure he already knows if you're in the city. In the meanwhile, I'll take care of your horses and such. Whisper was one such casualty. Also, just letting you know, the one kobold, I'm trying to remember her name. She'd be pissed because she's technically in charge right now, so we gotta.
That would be Mile.
Yes, Mile. Just letting you know, that actually was what I was going to try to complete the thought of. Normally, you might want to report to LeFou, but if you have any major business with the city, I'd suggest reporting it to Mile first, as she's technically in charge of. At least she is assumed majority control over the lower districts.
Somewhat worrying, isn't it?
And Trisnag will...
Yeah, definitely somewhat worrying, says Flick.
He'll follow after Edgerton now, abandoning the conversation and just kind of running after him.
Of course, Tosley's following until is Creed sticking behind to have conversation with Flick, or is he going to follow with the rest of the group? And then Zai was gone.
Zai died!
No, he said in 45 minutes.
Oh.
Hello, can you...
Alright, we
We
hear you
hear
now.
Okay. Well, jeez.
It's Dad's
Dad's birthday? Is that what you said? I didn't quite catch that.
You're very quiet.
And he's gone again.
Zai. He's dead.
We continue on. We'll continue on with everybody else for now.
He's back. Zai.
Hello.
Are you?
There you go.
There you
He's
go.
loud.
So much better. Holy shit.
Yeah.
He was
Yeah,
quiet.
okay. I don't know what's wrong with that setting, but okay. Dad's birthday tomorrow. I'm going out with my brothers to buy him a gift in 45 minutes. So
Okay. By then, Kaze will probably have arrived too. So. It'll probably
yeah.
work out.
I have a good excuse in character for Creed that we can do something with that. I'm sure you're already thinking about it now. Now that I've mentioned this.
Yes.
All right. But yeah, I will stick back and talk and have a quick chat with Flick then.
Okay. We will actually do that first. Then.
Okay.
All right. So the others begin walking off as Flick begins to go put up the horses and take care of the carriage. As you kind of pull
All
them
right.
aside.
Okay. So what's the current situation? How many did we lose?
Surprisingly, nobody.
Oh, thank God.
I know.
I guess. What's
Looks
her name?
like
Hala? I forgot the pronunciation of her name again.
you mean Helena?
Black Dragon King.
Helena?
Helena, yeah. Thank God.
Yeah. We're pretty good on that front. We start our new base of operations a little bit further down on the lake. We got a nice little hideout that we're getting built. Now it's kind of being dug a little bit into the shore. It's a little bit more work, and we've got an entryway into the sewers, but there are some problems with the sewer right now that honestly we're trying to convince Mile to take care of. We're not being forceful, mind you, but it's been a struggle. It's not like when we had the little rat hole down there.
Right. You let me know what it is. I have a friend who's got some clout with Mile. Maybe I can bring it up to her.
Good. I'm sure. I am very, very sure Cheddar would appreciate that.
You just tell him. Let me know what he needs, and I'll see if I can get something arranged.
Flick gives an eyes. He's like, you probably want to go and catch up with your friends before they get too far away from you.
Alright. Take it easy, Flick. Pass on the message as Creed goes off.
Alrighty, and Flick goes back to taking care of the horse. Meanwhile, with the other one of you guys, as you guys are entering through the gate, you see that there is a legion of kobolds carrying all manners of tools and materials and stuff, kind of working and rebuilding stuff. The first thing you get immediately is that there's an air of tension. There's an air of tension between the average citizens and these particular kobolds. They seem to be begrudgingly tolerating them. At least most of the citizens seem to be that way.
What color are they?
They are kind of a dingy red.
How fun.
Oh, not that it's too important. I mean, it might be if someone puts down caltrops. Trznag's taking the old sandals off the wagon. I'm just gonna delete that from the inventory.
Okay.
So he's not completely barefoot. It might matter if combat happens, so just had to put that out there.
Alrighty. As one of these kobolds... Oh god, I'm gonna hate myself for doing it. No, I'm not doing that right now.
Do it.
No. It makes more sense to bother another character with this. Alright, so where is the first place you guys want to head as you guys
Edgergan's going straight to LeFou.
Oh.
Or LeFou's castle anyway.
Alrighty. Pushing your way through the lower districts, you do see...
So he'll tell Tasley, make sure I still have my privacy.
She nods as she heads back towards the sleeping pond inn. Actually, still pond inn. Jeez. She heads back towards the still pond inn to go and ensure that you still have your privacy. Meanwhile, you begin heading towards the higher districts. Trisnag, are you going to be accompanying him, yay or nay?
Let's see. I think he would try to pawn the 2 sapphires, and then try and find Mile actually. But that's probably in the same direction, I would guess.
The pawning the sapphires, unless if you're not going to do it at the alchemy shop, actually that's, you know what, there's a good explanation for how we can do this. So yes, you are heading in the same direction.
Okay.
I'm following.
And Creed is following a little bit farther behind. He's just kind of rushing, doing that good old assassin sprint. Eventually, you guys reach where the border used to be, for where the lower and the high districts used to be separated. It has been pretty much completely demolished, and about where the this border should be is where you see that there is a half-constructed giant tower being built. You can roll me a perception check with advantage to see a site that is happening. Though I know that Edrigan, it may not be important.
You say perception?
Yeah, perception with advantage.
Okay.
Oh, that's a pass.
Whoa.
What the fuck?
Wow! That's three nat 20s in a row for anybody wondering.
That is such a waste.
Yeah, it really is. Because all you are doing.
That's what you want on a disadvantage, not advantage.
Yeah. So what you guys all spot is that Mile is currently in the middle of an argument with a bunch of kobolds. She's standing outside where this tower should be. She's about a good 50 feet away and hasn't noticed you guys yet.
Good. Keep going.
See, I knew that was going to be your answer.
Creed looks to Trisnag.
Just I looks to Creed.
Your call.
I was gonna go find her anyway. Okay. Are you going anywhere in particular? I'm kind of worried the villagers are gonna go after me since I'm a lone kobold wandering around.
I'm with
Sorry?
you, Trisnag. Don't worry. I'm with you.
Okay. Okay, cool.
And he'll go in Miles' direction then.
Okay. Miles has just finished up the argument as one of the other kobolds in his last little statement says, "Can we just get a break to play with our centipedes on a stick?" As you see her shaking furiously. "If you bring up the centipedes on a stick one more goddamn time!" As she turns and she finally spots you. Oh, covers her mouth. Turns to the other kobold looking upset as he scurries off in fear. I'm sorry, hi, Trisnag.
Hello, Mile. How are you?
I am doing moderately okay.
Insight. Is she telling the truth?
Yeah, no, that's a perfect insight. Roll that.
DC is 1.
She looks stressed. She looks
I nudge Trisnag.
Yeah, stressed and nervous.
I nudge Trisnag.
We're back in town, as you can see. I know you're probably very busy, being in charge and all. I was just wondering if we could catch up later, maybe?
She blinks and she's like, "Yes, please. Please, please, please."
Okay. How does tonight sound then?
She nods. Tonight, yes, all of you, if I could. I need to talk to all of you.
Oh. Okay. That works too.
She blinks as she realizes something. Shit!
Looks like, and then Creed thinks to himself, looks like I don't have to be sneaky about this then.
That being said, a lot of there are a lot of things I could bring you up to speed with that are going on right now. There's a lot of bad. There's a good bit of good too. Mostly a little bit of headache. She says, looking towards the kobolds that are back, have gone back to work.
Yeah,
You-
so I can see. Well, I've got to go tidy up anyway. I've got to fix this gaping hole in my armor, and then, look better for later. Anyway, see you later.
And he'll run, fast after Edrigan.
Creed, would you like to?
Creed's just kind of left there.
You're just gonna walk.
Okay.
You can have Creed. You can have Creed roll a perception for me.
Sure, I will.
That-
15.
That's a pass. She seems a little sad.
Hey, Mile.
Hmm?
Two things I'm offering. Information and help.
I could stand to have both of those right now.
Okay. Here's a bit of both. Don't worry about it, and I can help you with any problems. Just hit us up in the Southern District. You know who I'm talking about.
She's actually going to need to roll an insight.
Unfortunately, Creed, I'm retarded. I can't even tell that Triznag wants to ask me on a date. What chance do you have on subtlety and subterfuge?
I'm also trying to underline so she got me.
She got a nat 20 on it.
So she understood me, yeah?
Yes, she understood. And she's like, yes, you're with one of them. Don't worry about it. We can talk about that in private later. God
Good.
damn it.
I like that opportunity.
Mm.
And Mile, don't worry. Things will work out.
She
Creed
looks
the
down.
I'll make sure they
I
do.
got him a present too.
Do you want me to help pass it on to him?
It's big and heavy, and I wanted it to be a surprise.
I can lead him there. Then it will really be a surprise if you're not asking him.
Is this Triznag Tower?
Do I have to pay you?
Consider it an IOU. And plus, you're going to meet me privately later about my stuff. So I say even trade.
That's fair. Are you sure you wouldn't rather have this conversation with Dreg? He's technically helping me out with all this.
I figured you're more of the face of the operations. I'll talk with Dreg about the details, but I think you're a more direct line. Am I correct to assume that?
It's a mixed situation. I assume you're on your way to LeFou, and I'm almost certain he will have a lot to say to you about it. I'll clear up anything he says that's inaccurate later. But for now, I believe you should probably go with your friends to make sure that you get your cut of the pay, lest he try to cheat you out of it.
Fair enough. If you can give me a direct line to Dreg at some point, when next time we meet up, that'd be very helpful. Oh.
Direct line to Dreg. I don't even have that.
Yeah. I figured you might, but hey, I assumed too much. Just give me the details of on how you want to operate that surprise, because I'm good at that, and I'll get Triznag there.
Just like, after we all have our little meeting, just tell him to come to my tower. It's not done being built yet, because these little kobolds are so lazy! But just tell him to come to my tower later.
Understood. I'll make sure he's safe on the way.
Thank you.
Have a good
Bye.
one. Bye. As I run off to catch up.
Alright, Edrigan, you are the first to arrive at the gate to LeFou's castle. The gate has been torn off the hinges and has currently been wrapped around one of the statues.
Nice.
Also, you can see clearly into the throne room from the front gate because of how the castle's been torn down. And you can see LeFou is still sitting in his chair in the throne room.
Oh, he's just gonna walk up then.
Alright, walking inside, what you do see is the giant devilish creature that you normally is invisible is actually not invisible. You notice that its arm has been torn off, as has one of its horns been broken in half.
That happened.
LeFou. Edrigan, I didn't hear word that you were coming back into town.
I like what you've done with the place.
He looks incredibly unamused with that. Yes, we're doing some renovation on the entire city. We had a visitor, but I appreciate you giving me a bit of a heads up on this unexpected guest, as it ended up saving my life.
Consider it a professional courtesy.
Right, speaking of professional courtesies, did you...
Yeah, he kind of just holds up the black contract like, you help me, I help you. It works out.
Indeed. So, did you retrieve the soul of Belsgore?
He still doesn't want to touch it, so he kind of like uses the contract as a glove to like reach in and then wraps it around, sort of.
Yeah, that makes sense. You see LeFou look up to the giant double figure. Pazuzu! Hand it to me.
I guess I hand it to Pazuzu.
He picks up in between his little, pretty much giant looming figure, picks it up between his little fingers, hands it over to LeFou. You see almost a gleam in LeFou's eye and something of malevolent joy on his face. As he... Oh, this is good. This is very good. Right. Payment. At around this time, Trisnag, you have entered as well.
Oh, sorry, I'm late. Oh, legs short. Hello.
When LeFou sees Trisnag, his eyes actually glower and he gets angry. Right, I forgot you had a kobold with you.
Did you get your date?
Huh? I haven't been keeping track of how many days we've been gone. I'm not sure what the date is.
I know exactly how that conversation went. Very well.
LeFou says, right, payment though. Where is Xanther?
Dead.
Oh, how very unfortunate. Right. Your place of lodging has been prepared, so to speak. It's ready for you to take it, but it just needs someone to clear out a small little pest problem it's having.
Of course it does.
Well, it would have already been taken...
Is it troglodytes?
No, something much worse.
Oh, joy.
An infestation of hobgoblins and bugbears. At around this time, Creed has also arrived.
And I'm here.
He's like, oh, good. The assassin is with you. Wait, Xantha died, but the rest of you lived.
Yes.
I'm honestly somewhat surprised. I would have thought the one wearing heavy armor and a shield would have been the one harder to kill.
Trisnag kind of looks at his equipment.
Hey.
The rest of us ran when we were overrun.
Oh, I see. One of those kind of situations.
Well, more like jumped out the window at the very last second. But if that counts as running, then sure.
Oh no, I jumped out the window the first second.
I stayed right until he died. It was very.
LeFou seems amused by this. He's like, it appears that I have chosen very wisely in contracting you under me.
Because we let our friends die?
No, because you value your own lives and know when to run away.
Okay, fair.
I didn't let anything happen. He died so fast I couldn't even lift my hand to cast healing spells.
Oh, sorry. I'm pretty sure that wasn't meant as a joke.
That's okay, I went and got Mile and she dealt with it.
Let's not mention that name right now. Right. Well, I guess I do have to mention her name.
By the way, did you know that we're friends with her?
His face has this look of a little bit of bewilderment for a second before just stone cold. Interesting. When did you become friends with her?
She thinks he's awesome.
Oh, put the target on me.
In the voice of Mile, Nightwing says, he's kind of awesome.
LeFou looks at you somewhat menacingly. Oh, I see.
Oh. Look, I've been keeping it professional so far.
Mm-hmm. Right. Well, the one thing I can say about your keep is that once I get the proper guards to be able to take care of it, I'll make sure that it is cleared of the bugbears and hobgoblins. Unless, of course, you are willing to go and clear it out yourself, in which case, feel free to. But, at least for the time being, seeing as this is an inconvenience for you guys, I have prepared a second lodging inside the city for free until your fortress is ready. He puts quotes around fortress.
Oh, your benevolence is without measure, Lord LeFou.
I appreciate the flattery. You may notice that the city's in somewhat of a state of disarray after a visit from a certain asshole dragon.
Where is he, by the way?
I don't know! And
We saw him come here.
And then he didn't come back.
Him leave.
I never saw him leave either. This is something that makes me increasingly nervous with each passing day. I'm not sure where it is he's taking refuge or where it is he's hiding at, but given his sheer size, he's either polymorphed himself into an average citizen or he secretly slipped away in the night using some form of magic. I can't be sure which.
It is kind of scary.
Indeed. But you say you have connections with Mile. I'm pretty sure if he's still hanging around somewhere in the city that she will know where he is. And
I was actually going to ask her about that later. Perhaps I'll find something out.
Fair. If you can pass on the information on where he's hiding, I would very much be willing to pay for such a thing, as it's very pertinent to my safety.
Well, I'll do my best to keep as many people alive as possible. That's the word I can give. No more than that.
Very good. Hmm. Outside of you bringing me the souls of Belzgor and me passing on the news about your property and also your second property, which of course, I will make sure the guards receive instructions on how to direct you to your property, if you desire that, or if you just wish to explore the ruins of this city to try and find it, that's fine too. One thing that's worth noting to say is that Mayol has, quote-unquote, control of the city. However, she is not in charge of the city. I still remain as the person in charge here. Mayol simply has control of the lower districts. From what I understand, there are a few citizens who are under the impression that I brought about this dragon attack that happened. Not sure where they got that idea in their head. And because of that, they're currently upset with me and have allied themselves with the kobold. Perhaps, I'm going to work my magic, so to speak, to try and get rid of this bit of misinformation. But it's going to take time. So for the time being, you may have to answer to Mayol for a few things. I hope you are okay with this position.
Well, it's hard to judge until we find out what we're asked of from the kobolds.
Fair. Also worthy of note is that at least everyone in the High District, as I would expect, remains loyal to me.
I have a question, but if you believe it is a question that has value, or the answer has value, I understand if you do not wish to answer. How have the White Orchids reacted to the attack?
That is a very good question. I believe that, all things considered, this is an opportunity for them to try and get into my city while its defenses are down and at their weakest. I'm not quite sure what they will try to do, but I don't put any kind of past them to try and use this as a time to their advantage. I know, not quite the answer you want to hear.
Well, I had two ideas. Either that, or they would be too frightened of the Resh Soul to make any movement at all.
From my past experiences, the White Orchid Order does indeed have a extreme fear of the Resh Soul. So perhaps what is keeping my city safe at the moment is the fact that they are not aware of where the Resh Soul is either. Thusly, all the more important that I find out where he is as soon as possible.
Edrigan nods.
In the meantime, have fun in the city. It's currently being restored. Duress Soul, surprisingly after his attack, has been generous in that he wishes to rebuild the city. Quote unquote, no ill will.
Yes, that sounds like a red dragon to me.
He kind of says, right. If I need you for any kind of jobs, I will try and stay in communication with you, and I will either send one of my couriers, or perhaps a Zada or a guard to come and retrieve you so we can have conversation in private. Of course, if you find out anything on your own, feel free to get in contact with me, especially if you believe it's information that you believe can benefit me or benefit our relationship.
Edrigan nods, turns, says, "Don't worry, just keep your door open." And then he leaves.
Ever the wit. Ever the wit. Alrighty. Trisnag or Creed, anything you guys want to say?
Just one thing.
Hopefully there's no ill will between me and you. I am a white kobold from the south, after all. That's, well, technically gray kobold, but I'm white. From the south, and not a red one, so, no direct ties to Diresh Soul and all that.
He says, as he's like, right. Hold on one second. He turns around as he whistles. As Azada comes out carrying a chest.
Honey?
As Azada drops the chest in front of Triznag. No ill will.
I don't know if I can lift this.
He'll try to open it.
That sounds like your problem.
Just kind of
No,
drag
I
it
will.
out.
Well,
You just drag it.
Actually, you would be able to drag it with the weight restriction.
Oh yeah, he'll just drag it out.
Thank you!
No problem. Creed, your payment is in there as well. I figured since you guys went out together, you would not mind too much if your payment was all together.
duly noted. Okay, quick question, Christian. Has Creed ever seen the demon behind him before?
No, he has not.
Creed then starts thinking, are we the same?
A very interesting question. As you hanging around the throne room for a bit too long, LeFou kind of starts raising an eyebrow. He's like, I believe our business is done.
Are you trying to hide that or not?
I can't hide it right now.
Nice. He's scary.
Indeed, one of my most loyal servants.
Servants, you say?
Yes.
Interesting.
A gift from my patron.
Keyword. I got one of those too. We got different things then.
Perhaps. I wouldn't put my level of my relationship with my patron on the same as whatever yours might be.
Alright. As he waves the gold dagger. See you later.
And off you guys go. Where are you guys headed?
Oh, first let's split this gold or whatever's in this chest.
You are correct. It is 5,000 gold.
Holy shit!
Also a key to your estate.
Trisnag pockets the key.
Trisnag immediately. Mine! Alright. So you guys can add 5,000 gold to your wagon notes.
Alright, I will add that. Guys, the bad, you didn't take out the items. Alright, 5,000
I took
gold.
out my items.
I took out my cloak of protection, didn't I?
Nope.
No.
What?
You-
I saved
You
it.
might have hit the X. I don't know. It's
Or no, what might happen is if we were both editing it at the same time.
Yeah,
and
it
he
doesn't
saved
save.
and
It
then I
doesn't save
saved.
it. Yeah, that happens.
Then when I saved
Okay.
it, I put the cloak back.
Sweet, delicious water. All right. So, question still remains: where are you guys headed next? Of course, after answering Robot's question. That's what we're doing. That's what's in the
I
chest,
need
but-
to get this chitin into an armor.
did I
It's
pawn the
still
sapphires or not yet?
You have not pawned them yet.
Okay, just checking.
Privacy.
All right. So you're actually going to return to the still pawned inn?
Yeah.
All right. So Triznag is headed to the alchemy shop. Creed is headed to the armorsmith, unless Triznag wants to join him.
Wait a minute.
Since your armor's kind of banged up and stuff.
Wait a minute. I'm keeping one of the two gems, and I'm trying to figure out which one. Because I need to... Because if Mile has a gift, Triznag needs to give a gift. This is shot in the dark. What color are her eyes? I will sell whichever one is furthest away from that.
Her eyes are blue.
Alright, selling the ruby. And not the sapphires.
Okay. So Triznag is going to go with Creed to the armorsmith then.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I'll actually start with Edrigan then. Again,
Hey.
you return to the Still Pond Inn. You see the owner sitting there, a little bit solemn. You notice that he is missing an eye, as well as has a nice gash across his face.
Edgerton just kind of nods at him and then goes on up.
Privacy, he says as he gives a nod.
Actually, we might be leaving soon. I believe we've acquired property of our own.
Oh, well,
However, thank you for your assistance.
it's been a pleasure having you. Thank you for not making too much noise.
I try. I go up to get Tasley.
All right, and Tosley is sitting there, standing guard outside of your room.
We've got a house somewhere.
Oh, neat. Should I get all of our stuff then? Out of these rooms?
Yes. Let's pack up what we can.
All right. You can actually just leave that to Tosley if you want to go do other things.
I don't have anything specific to do, and I don't know where the house is, so...
That's fair. That is fair. So yeah, you will spend time helping Tosley get all your stuff together. Make sure it doesn't get broken or nothing that is fragile gets put on something. Gets put on the bottom of a pile.
Why would you do that?
Say fragile because I love.
Why
that,
do you hate me?
Because I love that joke from the Rugrats.
Hate you.
I hate myself too. All right. Meanwhile, at the armorsmith, guess who is in fact still alive?
The dad, but not the daughter.
I think that's the wrong way around, buddy.
That's wishful thinking from UA. He's like, please do that because it'd be funnier. But no, there were actually roles for this kind of stuff. There were actually roles for casualties. So she got advantage on the roll, so she did survive. Her dad, however, was very accurately guessed, did die. So she's just sitting there solemnly working at her station. You notice her building has actually been expanded a bit since when the last time you guys were here. And currently there are a few kobolds at her shop, bothering her, pestering her. And she's kind of handing them small shiny knickknacks, and they're handing out way more gold than they should in exchange.
Are they all getting ripped?
I'm surprised they have such good wages.
Apparently Mile pays them well. I'm surprised
But
that they're
apparently they don't work hard enough.
Isn't that the truth? I've been helping out Mile with the reconstruction of the city. I've been trying to get some of the dwarves to agree to help us, but dwarves trying to work for kobolds is kind of a touchy subject.
So, good to see you're all right.
Just barely, mind you. I was literally just going on vacation. I was probably about a mile away from the city gate when a massive shadow passed over my head.
Ugh, don't remind me. We were on our way to a job. I was hiding under a wagon for... how long? It was a few hours, at least.
Jeez. Long story short, a lot of people died. My dad, sadly, amongst them. Thor rest his soul, she says, putting her hand to her heart. He went out the way he would have wanted to die, though. A blaze of fiery glory. At least that's the way that the dwarves in the tavern told me he went out.
I'm sorry to hear that. I understand dwarves have a very close connection with their parents.
Oh, absolutely, but that's exactly the way I think my dad would have wanted to die. So, all in all, I think that's not bad. Not bad at all. Good job, Dad.
Well, that's good.
How can I help you? Looks at the armor. What did you do to it?
I used it. I'm quite alive thanks to it, in fact, so I thank you very much for that. I think I would have been quite dead probably mark on the dungeon floor if it weren't for the armor you've made.
That actually fills me with more joy than I care to admit. As you are having this conversation, a kobold comes out. Do you want what's inside this jar for a shiny bit? I'm doing other business, please. She says she pushes him away. Sorry, they're all like this.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
She blinks, she's like, how come you and Mile and some of the other kobolds I deal with are sophisticated then?
You know, I have no idea. As far as I know, the only smarter kobolds in my own tribe were learned from experience. They managed to live a few decades, got a big feathery hat and all that, and their years gave them the knowledge to lead and not do stupid things. Though, Mile told me once that the more brighter red kobolds are from like a better, I think she said better cut. I don't know what that means, but I'm the only kobold of this particular scale shade in my own tribe, so maybe it has something to do with that.
Interesting. That's
proximity to a dragon, perhaps? I have no idea.
She kind of shudders when you say the word dragon. Let's not say that word right now. Let's not say the D word. Instead, let's work on servicing you guys on what you guys need. Clearly you need your armor repaired.
Yes,
I'll take care of that for a silver piece. She says, thinking about it for a minute. Yeah, 1 silver piece seems about a fair price for that.
Well, okay.
Anything else you need me for?
I was also, I've been carrying around this ruby. Don't know if I can trade it here. Maybe you can embed it in a weapons pommel or something for someone. I don't know.
Well, I'd say take it to the general goods store or the alchemy shop. But with the general goods store, that's not going to be an option anymore. With the alchemy shop, though, I'm kind of working in close relation with them, so I'll take the ruby. I can probably find something to inlay it in. Probably sell some of these kobolds for a fair price, she says, rubbing her chin.
Sounds good.
So, you're selling the ruby to her, so...
Yeah.
Remove the
50
ruby
gold?
from your inventory, yeah, and add the gold.
Alright, got it.
What about you, she says, turning to Creed.
Right. So I have some of this as he puts down the Mezoloff chitin on the table.
She picks it up and she's like, some sort of giant bug thing? Don't get me wrong, I as a dwarf, I've worked with bug shell in the past. It is no stranger to me, but where'd you get this from?
A giant bug thing.
I see. I guess I might have to go through some works to identify this myself, but I think maybe even without identifying it, she gives it a knock. I could probably make something out of this. What are you looking to get?
I'm looking at something along the lines of something that doesn't give me disadvantage on stealth. Give me a sec.
I've thought long and hard about this. Just something that doesn't give disadvantage on stealth.
Because technically, I don't think I can get a shield. Because if I cast spells and stuff, I need the free hand.
Yeah. At least
Yeah,
unless you get a combat. I think it's war caster or something like that.
I know my weapon can act as an arcane focus, but I don't think that cancels out the whole. I need
it's
a hand.
warcaster. That's the one I'm thinking of.
Yeah, I think studded leather. But then studded leather with the chitin armor doesn't make sense.
You can stow your weapon as an object interaction, but then you can't if you have to do an reaction attack. Like that's why I had to punch that skeleton last session, was because my weapon was currently sheathed due to spellcasting and all that.
Right. She looks at this. She's like, "Well, given the material out of this, I can make something similar to studded leather out of this. I could probably just use this in place of the metal platings normally on studded leather to make the instead of using the metal platings, I can use this." She says, knocking on it. I might be able to make some form of hide armor from it too. But we'll see. How much are you willing to put into this?
Could you also hold on? Yeah, it's already 2 o'clock. Chill. God.
I know how
Okay.
I know that feel.
I don't think she can actually make it magical or anything like that. No matter how much I would try to pay her extra.
No, but I would say because of the special quality of the material, I may put a special quality on it.
Okay. Give it your best. Give it your best work. I'm gonna trust your instincts on this. I'll even pay extra if I like what I see at the end of the day.
I will do my best then. Alrighty, and is there any other business then?
Creed will have a quick look at all the weapons available and start recording them in his mind, so he has a record of weapons
Roll
to transform
me a
through.
wisdom check.
Straight wisdom.
Yeah.
Okay. 12. Not that great.
You may memorize 2 more weapons that you can make your weapon take the shape of.
Okay. I want.
Kind of like UA's bird.txt. I would just probably, if I were you, just keep a txt file of all the weapons that you've memorized that your weapon can take the shape of.
Okay. So, all right. Just so for your record as well, currently what I have is
The bone saber.
dagger, bone saber, short sword, short bow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's it.
All right, and then you can add 2 more of your choice.
Okay. I want whip. I think that'd be really cool.
All right, that's fair.
And ooh, bone saber is technically already a rapier, so I don't need another finesse weapon.
Correct.
What about a hammer to use as like a tool if you need to?
Yeah, I was thinking of that. Something bludgeoning. Is that like a great hammer, like a big ass?
Just do a warhammer. Warhammer.
Warhammer. All right, got it.
You could also do a mace, but I think warhammers are a little cooler, personally.
Yeah,
right.
Warhammer.
Anything else you guys want to do here at the Armor Smith then?
That should be all for me. And yeah.
Trizank would just try to get an ETA on the armor repair. Like how long it would take.
She kind of scratches her head. I can put it on rush and have it done in about 3 days. If that's acceptable to you.
Yeah, that's fine. I really appreciate it. It really did save my life. Several times, in fact.
Once again, that just puts a smile on my face to hear.
Creed interjects, can I get mine on rush too? If you're doing his too?
Crafting your armor is going to take time. This is a completely new material to me. If you could tell me what bug it came from, I might be able to go find some books inside the library to use as reference. But...
Mazaloth.
The hell is a Mazaloth?
I think it's more of a creature from a different dimension.
Her face kind of drains a little bit of color.
I'm sure you'll find a book on it. They're scary things.
Jeez. We'll see how long. I'll get you an ETA with the messenger on how long it's going to take.
Much appreciated.
Alright, if that's the case, then the kobold that had been waiting pushes forward. Why would you give me this in this jar? I have other business.
Trizank will approach the kobold.
Yeah? You're a very patient one. That's good. dragons live so long. Patience is a virtue of them. By extolling that virtue, you are closer to them. So, keep it up. And he'll walk away.
He nods. He nods. As you're walking away, he's like, "Do you want my centipede on a stick?"
No, Elmo, fuck off.
Alright. And that's me. Creed will now do that thing I posted in the chat.
Alright.
Thanks, boys. Let me know how it goes.
Alright, no problem. You have a good one going shopping.
Cheers. Take it easy.
Alright. I think now is a good time to take a quick, 2-minute break anyway. So let's go ahead indulge ourselves. Mostly I have a good idea where your character wants to go next.
Good, because I don't.
I thought you want to go to the library.
The other day, UA and me were talking about hirelings, and he's like, Tannen, you should get a kobold hireling. And I'm like, no.
Now you know why, no.
But now I'm kind of like, maybe.
He too wishes to learn the secrets of the centipede on a stick.
No! Alright, let me go get some more water. I'll be right back.
Coffee.
I'll be right back as well. And the back.
Welcome back.
I miss Zai.
Yeah. But dude, it's already 2 o'clock. Is there anything you want to tell the recording right now? While the mods are asleep?
Not really,
Alright.
because it'll be immortalized forever.
Sorry, all 7 watchers.
I don't know. I don't know what to tell him. It'll be more than 7 someday.
Alright, I'm back.
Welcome back.
Alright,
I
is
too
there,
miss Zai.
You miss Zai? We all miss Zai. Alright,
But also Kevin.
yeah, well, he'll be here in 15 minutes probably.
Cool.
But will he?
Let's do a 15-minute ritual. No.
Alright, so at this point, where is Trisnag going to go next?
Depending on the time of day, I guess well, actually, either way, he's gonna have to go find Edrigan, so that's what he would do.
Still Pond Inn?
Yeah.
It seems like the most likely place he would go. And sure
Back
enough,
to
you
the
find...
I did say privacy.
You did.
Alright, sure enough, you find him actually upstairs gathering the stuff from all of your guys' room collectively along with Tasley.
Whoa, you're actually helping. I mean, hello. So
Edrigan just kind of leans down real close. You get 1 free one. I hope you used it well.
probably not. You're just gonna kick me again anyway.
Yes.
So
Also, Xantha's not here, so who else is going to do it?
That's fair. We got our reward from LeFou. You probably already saw it if you're gathering everything. We put it in the wagon. I have the key to the estate. And we have a meeting later tonight with Mile.
I didn't want to date with her.
Well, are you gonna tell her no?
Edrigan actually thinks about this. Holy shit, you might be right. I might be too terrified of Mile to say no.
Right. So, besides, it's not a date, it's a meeting.
Oh, why didn't you get a date?
I tried!
Okay.
She didn't realize. Anyway, I just need an hour.
Gross, you're both bad at dating.
Kobolds don't date! We just kind of go into a chamber in the cave, and it's human stuff. We've been out here too long, clearly.
was covering her ears.
It's completely impersonal. People don't even know their parents and stuff. It's.
Edrigan is visibly terrified.
Boss, just tell me when I can uncover my ears. Just tap me on the shoulder.
Edrigan does not tap her on the shoulder. Do you know where the house is?
The house? Oh,
Did LeFou mention it? I don't think he did. Did he?
You have the name of the estate, but you guys had to get a guard, one of the Zadas, or one of his people to escort you there.
I have the name of it, and we'll have to get LeFou's men to escort us, or a Zada.
Why? If we have the name, we can find it.
Why not just do what he asked?
Fine.
Maybe the Zada can help carry our stuff.
Maybe.
Alright, so what's the plan?
We're gonna move into a house.
Well, yes.
Bugbears and hobgoblins there, aren't there? Oh wait, no, the house, not the big house. Okay, got it.
Alright, so you guys gonna find a guard to escort you there? You guys are gonna go get a Zada to help you, or...
Guard's fine.
Alright. So you guys find a guard and just present him with the paper telling him that this is your estate. The name of the estate is Chateau Noir.
Of course it is.
And the guard kind of looks at you guys for a moment, almost as if not believing you.
Do you have any questions?
Did you blackmail LeFou?
In the voice of LeFou, Nightwing says, "Thank you."
I see. Let me escort you as he leads you out of the lower districts and into the higher districts. You guys, in fact, pass Miles' tower that she has there. It's been built up a little more since when you guys were last there. About a good another foot higher now.
How tall is this tower?
Right now, currently, it's about 60 feet high.
How the hell did they do that in 10 days?
The kobolds. We do everything fast, so we die really fast. That's why you called me a freak, remember?
Oh, it is definitely in your best interest to remind me you're a freak, Trisnag.
Have I ever lied to you?
I don't know.
I'm blunt and forward, and I say things. Besides, that's freak's an upgrade from kobold.
Is it, though?
Yes.
Is it really?
Yes.
We're just going to have to take this as a difference of opinion, then.
Alrighty. The guard eventually does bring you to the front of your home. It actually is a fairly nice estate. There's a little iron fence surrounding it, a small little garden with a little fountain. It's a 2-layered estate, and it's fairly it's a 2-story estate, and it's fairly long. Definitely a very upscale place.
Finally, a dwelling worthy of my stature.
Tosley turns to you. Can I take my hands off my ears yet?
He taps her on the shoulder.
Takes them off. This is a very big place. Are we sure we got the right place?
Well, let's find out.
It's the god's fault if it isn't.
The guard is already gone. He's like, no.
Let me just nope the fuck out of here. Thank you very much.
Yup. Alright,
Trisnag
so
will
you...
try the key. See if it's the right place.
And the key works, and the gates open.
Yep, right place.
Edgington walks in.
Alright, the garden, of course, is, nice. But when you walk inside the actual place, it's pretty barren. No furnishings or anything of the such inside. But lots of rooms. You can see walking around the house, you can see that there is a... I figured that was going to happen. That message. Sorry, I got a message. I'm like, I figured that was going to happen.
I couldn't tell if it was you cutting off, and I was just kind of waiting for you to cut back in to tell you cut off. Okay.
That one wasn't my interwebs. So yeah, exploring the lower floor, you see that there's appropriately 2 places there are 2 guest rooms, a pantry that's fairly large in size, a dining room, a kitchen, a living space, a place for a study as well, and there's also a small storage closet, as well as a room that leads down to a very large wine cellar.
Not stocked, of course.
Not stocked, of course.
Well, there's quite a lot of room here.
That's just the first floor. Going up the stairs, you find that there are 3 bathrooms, one public bathroom and 2 private bathrooms attached to essentially master bedrooms. There are 3 storage closets upstairs as well as several rooms, more than enough to accommodate you guys, plus guests if you guys need them. Also, there is a very spacious attic as well. Upstairs is also a room that is fairly large, the not in the attic, but on the second floor, there is also a fairly large and spacious room that could be used for any number of purposes.
So,
The only downside here is that none of this is goddamn furnished.
well, Edrigan, you think we could store my master's skull somewhere so we don't have to lug him around all the time? I've been getting kind of worried every time we have to leave him in a swamp or a forest or in front of a cave full of orcs.
Wine cellar's probably safe. Getting an idea. Did he say we have this place, or is this just temporary?
Out of character, I can't remember. Oh, was it? I think it was temporary, right?
Yeah, it's temporary until your guys' quote unquote fortress is ready.
Yeah. It was temporary lodging until our fortress or whatever is ready. Still got the hobgoblins and bugbears and all that.
I wonder how much it would cost to just have this place. The keep is fine and all, but having a place here would be also fine.
Yeah, it doesn't hurt to have permanent lodging. We come here a lot.
That sounds like something you could work out with LeFou.
Plus, having to furnish the place and then defurnishing, and then moving everything over to the keep. In which case, I'm wondering if it's worth it to go and steal those portals.
Huh?
Unless they're key to lodge. Do you remember in Mudbug, the chapel? Underneath the chapel, there was a portal that led to the cottage of the Red Kobold Necromancer.
Right, I remember. I left him a note that we'd be going here. And now the
Go
town's
grab
been
that.
raised, so I'm sure that's great.
Just go and grab that.
Want me
I
to
don't
pick
mean
up a
right now.
door and bring it here?
I don't mean right now.
Tosley, I can do that right now.
We don't have a keep yet.
Fair. She says nodding.
So what we all need to do is find somebody who will furnish this place in some sort of manservant or major domo to upkeep this place.
Tosley, who do you think would know how to do that, though?
Well, that necromancer made a crystal skeleton. But that would be long term. Can't exactly just go ask him right now.
Oh, there's people in this town who does that, I'm sure.
What if we find like a local wizard or something that just knows construct stuff? Maybe we could just pay them for that.
Do I need to start making a list of things I need to ask Mile tonight? Because I've already got a pretty long list. And most of it's screaming.
I don't need to know what y'all do in the chambers.
No, not like that.
Tosley, do I need to cover my ears again?
No!
No, I'm thinking more local. If there's a dragon attack, that means there's displaced and unemployed people.
Well, what are the chances that actually, given what you guys continually tell me about your interactions with LeFou, I think his chances of pissing off the dragon again are fairly high.
He did say that a lot of the people in the lower districts have sort of sided with Daresh Soul and Mile and all that, so the fact that a kobold's living in this estate, we might want to recruit from there. Sorry about that, but, can't help what I am.
I mean, as long as they keep a place clean, I don't care.
Are kobolds known for their cleanliness? Says Tosley, looking at Trisnag.
Well, who else in the party bought a ton of soap?
That's fair.
The freak, of course.
Of course.
Speaking of which, does the water here work? That's a good question.
Time to check.
The water works.
Who's crying?
But yes, the water here does indeed work. Even without the furnishing, at least you got that going. Also, you notice that instead of torches and sconces and stuff like that, there's actually a series of magic that you can use to magically light up the house.
Well, that's quite fancy, actually.
I could really come to like this place. But if you think that the fortress that they're preparing for us is better, then I would have no problem moving out there. A fortress outside the city also makes it a better place to store your particular favorites, she says, looking at Edrigan.
I mean, I can't do necromancy rituals here. I have to get the fort.
I like the idea of the door, though I'm not liking the idea of stealing a door. Perhaps we can just... I mean, he's in the coven, right? And we've kind of got an invitation to go meet the... What was the name again? Anyway, maybe we could just commission him for a door. Maybe he can make one, who knows? I don't want to steal it, though. That would be... I don't want to make an enemy of someone who can make a door like that, you know?
Tosley nods.
Well, think of it this way. If he did it to spy on his Nerul cult, a cult which has been destroyed, by the way, it's not like he needs it there.
Well, it's still his house and his door.
Yes, a house that he hasn't been to last we checked. Oh, shoot, that reminds me. Edrigan gets his black contract out, and he writes at the bottom, we're back in Dingleberg, and he writes Chateau Noir.
Duskridge. You don't want to be in Dingleberg.
What I said? I said Dingleberg? Oh my god.
Right. But yeah, you get an almost immediate reply as it says, I happen to be in the area.
He just closes up his contract and puts it back.
Alrighty. Do you want to wait for Tile Calm, or do you want to go do other things?
No, I think I'm waiting for Talcom and or what's her face?
Mile
meeting.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Talcom actually arrives not too long after that message. It'd be somewhere like 15, 20 minutes. He arrives at the front gate of the chateau. Does not enter though. He just stands outside the front gates.
Can we see him out the window?
Yes.
Should I go let him in?
Tosley, is it?
What's it called? Edrigan just kind of casts prestidigitation to shine a light at the window, and just blinks it.
Oh, I wonder what the range is on thaumaturgy. You can open doors from really far away. Actually, now that reminded me. Thaumaturgy. 30
Oh, good,
feet,
because I thought you were gonna scream real loud.
No. No, it's 30 feet range. I don't think that's far enough.
Even though I'd say that's in range.
Okay, yeah. Then Tristan will actually open the door with thaumaturgy.
Telecom takes a little bow, enters inside. Then you hear a on the front door.
Just kind of looks at Tasley.
I got it, boss. She says she goes down the stairs, opens the door. Ah, good afternoon, my lady. Where is Edrigan? He's upstairs. I'll stand guard at the door. She says she closes the door standing outside. As Talcon makes his way up the stairs, you heard the kind of little sticky footsteps he has as he kind of goes up the stairs.
We need to find someone to clean this place.
Yeah.
Tile, I see that you have acquired yourself a nice bit of property here. Very lovely looking.
Temporary.
Wow.
Currently arranged location is, of course, infested with vermin and monsters.
Ah, he's giving you that place up north, then.
I don't recall its name, or recall if it was even given to me now that I think about it.
Up north.
Well, if
Keep going north.
If you're talking about any kind of place that's currently infested with bugbears and hobgoblins, then it's got to be a place up north at the moment, as that's where LeFou has currently withdrawn his forces from.
Well, that's got to be it then.
Of course it is.
Anyway,
But I doubt that you called me for such petty tribulations. Let's talk. What do you need to know?
Well, first of all, thank you for the drow information. It's very helpful. Very mutual arrangement we came to. And I got what I sought.
My pleasure.
I have the obvious question that I don't think you'll know the answer to.
Try me.
Do you know where Dreshsol is?
Oh. No. I'm trying to find that information myself. But given the price for it, if I do find that information, you won't get it for free.
Well, I'm on the case anyway. I have hunches.
He pulls out a gold piece and slides it to you. What's your hunch?
Oh, well, the dragon didn't leave. We were out, and he's covered the sky. He didn't leave. So he's clearly either he flew away invisible, which I don't think is likely, or he's here somewhere. That much is obvious. Anyone could figure that much out. But I don't know. I don't know him, but he's a dragon. Dragons aren't very humble, right? They tend to, want to do things themselves. They have the power. They're in charge. Well, Miles in charge, and that's kind of horrifying to me, at least.
That is a rather interesting theory.
Or he's just humble and is a distraction, which is also scary, because then he could be on a building invisible, or he could be someone else. He could be a guard. He could be anyone.
He could be in this very room.
TK sweating mucus.
Triznag uses his action to dismiss Junior just to make sure it still is familiar.
Yes.
Okay.
Takal wipes the mucusy kind of sweat from his forehead. He's like, let's not joke about things like that, please. I'm sure that Dreshsol is someone who can be bargained with, but I doubt that I have much things that he'd want.
Well, if I were him, I would probably just be a guard for LeFou so I could keep an eye on him. But that's me being with wishful thinking, I guess. Because that would be, that would make sense. But Of course, there's always the possibility he's just somewhere in the town where he can keep an eye on everyone else. Either way.
Fair assessment.
And he'll pocket
And
the
yell
gold
at
he
lazy
was.
kobolds.
He'll pocket the gold he was given.
Yeah. Well, either way, I'm gonna try and figure it out.
That's fair. And also, yes, there are quite a few lazy kobolds in the town currently. Town's kind of filthy with them now. Daresh brought them in with him whenever he made his attack.
That's another strange thing. I've never heard of large as he is, I can't imagine a dragon carrying kobolds rather than. I mean, sure, it's fast and efficient.
My guess is that there was some sort of magic involved. Initially, when he arrived, it was just himself. But after a few moments, Mile appeared, and with Mile came a lot of kobolds.
I question his size as well. If he's so magical that he can bring all those kobolds, perhaps he's naturally smaller and made himself larger, both as a tool of war and to intimidate. I don't know.
There aren't extensive records on Daresh Soul, at least not the kind that don't mark him as something as a part of history. Things like his,
either way, he's.
We
Either
do
way,
know
he's,
that Mile has skill with teleportation, anyways.
That would explain how Daresh Soul was able to pull off the feat. Probably some form of teleportation.
supposedly she has a range, though.
Perhaps not then.
Unless that was a bluff too, who knows?
Perhaps. It depends on how honest you believe that Mile has to be with you.
Well, at the very least, I think she's okay with us.
I think it's more of a different circumstances that requires different spells.
That's true.
Perhaps it's a waste of our efforts to spend too much thought on this. Let me get to some matter of business I've been withholding from you until you arrive back in Duskridge. I found the location of the book, he says, looking at Trisnag.
Oh my gosh, I've been so frightened by everything that's happened, I've almost forgot about the book. Yes. You mentioned a valley before. Is it just what you suspected, or?
It is sadly exactly as I suspected. Within the Bleak Valley, there is a necromancer who is in possession of your book.
Do you have any information on this necromancer?
Not too much, save that he is a member of the court of a very esteemed vampire there. It would be both a journey and a task to get this book. But it's not my job to give you that, but just to give you the information. Now,
well,
if you want, I could spend some effort and some time buttering up the court so that you could make your way there and be able to slide yourself right in.
That sounds a lot better than going there uninvited.
The necromancer also happens to be a member of the Umbral Coven, so that could be to your advantage as well.
Yes, that's...
Speaking of, you wouldn't know where the necropolis is, wouldn't you?
TK's eyes kind of blink out of sequence. Now, I'm not sure where you heard the necropolis from, but that is the exclusive flying fortress of the Umbral Coven.
Flying, you say?
Yes. Flying and perpetually cloaked as to stay out of the eyes of the White Orchid Order.
Cloaked, that's boring.
But it has to be. The White Orchid Order, if they could just find it normally, would just eradicate it. After all, no better place to attack than the place where no better way than to stamp out necromancy than to attack the largest source of it.
I meant boring for me.
Ah.
How am I supposed to find a cloaked flying building?
Well, to all members of the Umbral Coven, they are allowed access to the necropolis. So, that would probably be your ticket.
Well,
And seeing as we have already arranged for them to meet with you, and they should be meeting with you sometime soon, probably within the next 1 or 2 days.
Yes, we've through the course of our dealing with the matriarch, we have garnered their attention.
He kind of, TK raised an eyebrow. I arranged for a meeting for you to have with the Umbral Coven before you left on your journey. What changed?
It probably still works in our favor. That shows that we have several resources. The necromancer. We went into a necromancer's tomb to get the soul of
Belzgor.
Demon. I don't care what his name is. Also, to deal with the issue of the rogue drow. The same necromancer's tomb was also the training ground or trial by fire that they used to test new necromancers. So we accidentally passed.
Oh, well. Congratulations.
I wouldn't really call it an accident.
Well, the drow killed most of the zombies. And then the drow became zombies and we had to kill them. It was very complicated.
I nearly got turned into pasta by a trap. There was a lot of effort involved.
There was a meat room.
There was a meat room.
As you're just saying more and more, TK's just like more and more, just like, what the fuck are these guys talking about? Clearly, he needs to watch the previous episodes. He's like, right, congratulations on passing the Umbral Coven's test, I guess. But,
as I said, it probably works in our favor that you arranged a meeting too. It shows that we have
initiative,
we have resources, and we know how to use them. We're not idiots, etc., etc., etc.
Very fair, very fair. Speaking of not being idiots, any other questions? I'm perfectly prepared to bring you up to speed for any questions or anything that's happened in your absence.
Do you know how the White Orchids are responding to the Daresh Soul attack?
I may have that information, but it is not information I can part with for free.
How's 50 gold sound?
50 gold sounds like I'll tell you.
Here's 50 gold.
The White Orchids are attempting to infiltrate the city. They are attempting some form of, surprisingly, a previously unused tactic of theirs, espionage. I'm unsure of exactly how they are doing so or how they're getting into the city. But they're taking notes and observations for the weaknesses in the defense. Currently, they are aware of what's going on with whole Daresh Soul might possibly still be on the city, and because of that, they're holding off on any kind of attack they might have. But if it's discovered that Daresh Soul is not here, I certainly assure you they will attack the city.
Well, I can think of a few ways they could get in easily.
The fact that there's no gate.
Well, if they want to move around easily, did the White Orchid recruit halflings?
Absolutely. Humans, halflings, half-elves, orcs, even half-orcs. Not actual orcs, though.
When we first came here, we weren't quite sure what kind of city this was. I got this little hat. I can disguise myself with it. I used the appearance of a halfling because I thought, oh, human town. Or not a halfling. It was a small human. Anyway, the human town. Kobold bad. Don't want to go in. Well, right now it's the opposite. It's kobolds everywhere. If I were a magic halfling, I would just poof, red kobolds.
Into a kobold, yeah.
Wander around completely unimpeded because everyone's scared of you, and everyone thinks you're a stupid little lizard, and you can go wherever the hell you want.
That's very fair. This will perhaps require more investigation on my part. I will look into it, and should I find more information on it, given the sufficient payment I've received, I will make sure that you are on the know for it at Jagan.
When you wore the hat of disguise as a halfling or small human, did it still appear as a hat, or does it disappear?
It can look like whatever I want it to. It just has to be something on my head still. It could be a comb, hair. It could be a ribbon. Or it could be. It's still it has a visible presence, but it doesn't have to be a hat. No, it can be anything.
Plus, there's also the spell Disguise Self that you wouldn't need a hat.
That only lasts an hour.
Well,
I know that spell. It's not as long as this one. The hat is better.
Right, before shorter espionage, walk in, look like a kobold, find something out, and leave.
That's true.
Oh, shit. Sorry. Fair enough. I will continue to look into this matter. Any other questions of such that you believe I may be able to help you with?
No, it was mostly a hello, we're back.
Oh.
Nice to see you.
Oh, very cordial. He looks around your place. Would you like for me to look for an interior decorator for you?
I'm not sure how long we'll actually be here. I'm still debating internally how badly we need this place finished.
Would you like me to at least get someone to furnish the place lightly? Beds, tables, that kind of stuff.
Sure. Oh! The orcs, at Dusklake Cave?
Yes.
What are they doing? Do you know?
Mostly just robbing people on the road. They've actually grown their forces by a little sizable bit. They add a few more orcs to their rank. A few more not orcs to their rank, too.
I'm actually planning on using... this is mostly to Trisnak. I'm actually planning on using them to get off Fortress rather than waiting on LeFou.
That sounds like a great plan, actually. I have LeFou told me one thing, though you've got quite a bit more, ears to the ground, I guess, than him. Who, maybe obvious, but, just so I have my, what's the phrase? Ducks in a row or whatever. Who gave the order, to rebuild the lower districts?
That would actually be Mile.
Oh, hell. Okay, I need some fresh air. He's gonna go outside.
Those are good turns to TK and Shrugs.
I don't know either. When you step outside, you see Tosley standing guard outside the front door. Hey.
Hi.
Goes back to standing at attention.
He just sort of stares out into the city.
TK, inside the building, looks at again. Well, if you don't have any other business, then there are other places I can be at the moment. But if you do need to get back in contact with me, you know how to.
Sure do.
And, Let me know. Well, do you want me to get someone to get light furnishing in here?
I would like a bed.
All right, I'll have it done for you. As he goes ahead and plops himself out. Okay. So TK has taken his leave, and around 2 hours later, a person does arrive at the estate, claiming that asking you what kind of furnishings you want and such. Just tell me how much gold you're willing to put into it.
Is there like a range? Like crappy is 5 gold, decent is 10 gold.
For crappy furnishings, it's still gonna be around 50 gold. For good furnishing, you're gonna look on the high ranges of the thousands.
It's a lot. Can we meet in the middle and say 250?
The person
like,
nods as they
Not
promise.
quite as crappy, but not
Yeah.
ostentatious.
Yeah. As the person nods and says they'll get the furnishing moved in within the next 3 days, but they'll make sure you have your beds by tonight.
Cool.
Alrighty. Is there anything else anyone wants to do throughout the day?
Nope.
Alrighty. We'll just move straight into the meeting at the night. The meeting for the night then. Eventually, surprisingly even, a kobold, bright green scaled, makes his way to the front of Chateau Noir and raps at the gate.
What the hell are you?
The name's Artemis. I'm here to pick you up.
Why are you green?
Blinks. I work for Mile.
Tristan will kind of poke his head out.
What direction are you from?
I actually... he gives a bit of a laugh. He's like, I used to live in the deep forest.
Are you an idiot?
Are you?
Now I know why he's not red. She ran out of smart kobolds. Very well.
Alright, so you guys meet with Artemis at the gate?
Yep.
Yeah.
Alright. Artemis is actually just kind of nice. A lot nicer than the other kobolds you've seen. Not even wearing armor, mind you, but wearing... The best description is a monkey suit. And when I say monkey suit, that means like that stupid-ass looking tuxedo that you put on little kids.
Sure.
Yeah. He's like, follow me.
Follow Artemis.
Yep.
As he leads you to Miles Tower, actually.
How tall is it now?
So what?
How tall is it now?
70 feet tall.
Oh my gosh.
Holy shit.
Yeah, these kobolds are actually pretty damn fast. Or it's probably just the sheer number of them, really.
Well, if you need something done right, just throw a number of things at it.
That's what Miles says. He says, rolling his eyes. Right, shoes. He looks at your shoes. Shoes off.
What?
Shoes off.
Tristan takes off
Why?
his sandals.
No tracking mud into the tower.
Oh my... She's one of those.
The artist blinks. She's not one of those. I just don't want to have to clean up your mud tracks.
You're one of those.
Correct. Would you like me to take your cloak?
Well, I must say, so far I like you. And I mean that. It's a refreshing change.
He gives a nod. Right.
Edrigan is visibly annoyed as he removes his shoes and cloak.
He takes the cloak. When's the last time you washed this?
He just kind of gets down and, I've been scouring around necromancer tombs for the last 10 days, and I am not going to have my hygiene or other habits questioned by a lizard.
Artemis, I'll wash it for you. You should be at dinner long enough with Mile. He says as he disappears with your cloak. Shouting as he's going down the hallway. Just make your way down the right corridor, then make a left.
Alright, shall we, Edrigan?
Holy crap, I was so mad that I just gave a magic cloak to a kobold. Damn it!
I mean, I think if he's a thief, Mile would probably kill him, so you don't have to worry about that.
What if he's one of your halflings?
Well, then Mile will probably kill him, so you don't have to worry about that.
Edrigan kind of goes wherever Artemis said.
Alright. Head down.
Artemis isn't even a kobold name.
It's not.
And kobolds don't generally live in the forest as far as I know. But maybe he's weird.
Just tell me when you guys.
Weird, but you're still a kobold.
Alright, just tell me whenever you guys enter the dining room, because you guys can choose when you want to walk in.
Sure, we're in.
When we stop bickering.
Yeah, I was like, I'm assuming you guys.
No, mid-bicker.
Mid-bicker.
Okay.
Definitely mid-bicker.
Alright, as you enter the dining room, you can tell this place is very exquisitely built. Nicely carved stone. A fine carpet has been placed on the floor. A nice, sturdy wooden table, and food has already been set on it, and nice cutlery. And Mile is sitting at the table, dressed kind of nicely, not in her standard wizard robes or even with her 2 staffs on her back like you normally see her.
Forgot she had 2 staves.
Yup.
I guess Tristan would have given his. I guess Tristan would just leave his hat near the door so he's not walking indoors with a hat. And he will go have a seat.
Hello.
I see that, well, I'm not surprised. Creed probably has other business that he's taking care of.
I just assumed Creed was here too.
Zai left a message earlier. He said
Yeah.
when we all get to the dinner, so I think Creed's.
Okay, yeah, we'll just say that he's being quiet.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's probably better. Alright. She's like, alrighty. Well, how was your trip?
Enlightening.
I'll say
That's
I had
always the best news to hear.
I had no idea dwarf armor could take such a beating.
There's a reason why it's very hard to kill a dwarf as a kobold.
I had no long idea squids had skeletons.
They don't.
Well, they don't.
How interesting.
No. I don't want to hear this conversation.
Are you sure?
If we skip the part where something stupid has been made.
A undead squid skeleton monster with working tentacles.
That's not how that works.
It just works.
Damn it!
I mean, what better way to kill a group of adventurers trying to get into your necromancer tomb than give them something they're going to argue over while it kills them?
In the voice of Beepo, Nightwing says, "Beepo."
Oh, and
When did he learn that?
there was a tiny death gazer.
What?
Very
And
strange.
you're alive?
It was. It liked me.
It was
I don't-
cute.
Well,
It
yeah,
was
it's easy to like.
And it didn't kill anyone. So, there's that.
At least that we know of.
Well, not us.
I almost want to explore this place myself, but then on the other hand, no.
Well,
Maybe
just
we
about
can
everything.
Maybe we can talk more in detail about this and discuss what you learned. So, you may have noticed things have been a little busy here. Things have changed.
Yeah,
Good
it's.
Good job beating the crap out of LeFou's demon guardian, by the way.
Technically that was my master, but yes. That was probably the more interesting one, because everyone really expected that devil to win that fight.
So, this stonework here is actually shockingly impressive. Are there multiple?
I worked with the Dwarven smithy in town to design the lower floor here. We're kind of working our way through each one. The kobolds are building just as fast as they can. By tomorrow night, the top of my tower should finally be done. And then I'll be ready to open up my college here.
Oh, you're opening one here.
Yes, Master is moving me here. He said that I would be better service to him here.
Great news! You don't have to go to Dinkelberg.
Well, I mean, it must be good for you then. At least you'll be able to potentially teach more than just kobolds, right?
I look forward to that opportunity. The problem is, I am currently lacking in staff to teach in the other departments. I have someone who's willing to teach for the illusionary school department, and I, of course, would be teaching the evocation school. But covering the other schools of magic can be hard, since wizards can be particular. Yeah, I see that you understand.
He just kind of harumps into his drink.
If you happen to know any wizards who, I don't know, are willing to want to be a teacher here, I'd appreciate that. She says, looking at Edrigan for a little bit.
You are not asking me to teach at this college.
I'm not.
Kobolds are stupid.
But I just said there's more than kobolds in this town.
What do you need taught?
If you can teach divination, or perhaps as a private class that no one has to know about, you could teach your specialty. We could do that.
Having a secret class that nobody is going to know about is exactly how everybody finds out about it.
Mile. Well, who's going to tear apart my college? Well, I can think of somebody, but that's an entirely different issue that I don't really want to force on you guys.
White Orchids, LeFou.
Well,
just about everybody who hates everybody in this area.
If LeFou had a problem with necromancy, he wouldn't have let that necromancer murder or whatever that my master was telling me about run around the city.
Is he back? I thought he was dead.
The necromancer murder guy? Yeah, he's dead.
Okay, good. I have his corpse in my bag.
Oh, you are funny.
So I imagine you have no shortage of people lining up as students already.
True. Though, without the proper teachers, I'm kind of hesitant to take anything. Anyone who's coming to the school to learn evocation, I'm willing to accept applications for them. Also, I can teach some manner of basic magics myself. I'm not well, Edrigan would understand. Just because you teach one school of magic doesn't mean that you don't know how to do magic for other schools of magic.
Well, Edrigan's been teaching me a few things, but I've kind of hit a wall. When we're in the tomb, it was kind of a learn by doing so you don't get your head chopped off kind of thing. And
sounds pretty normal.
I went about as far as I could, but I can't go any further at the moment without proper study.
So what you're saying is you want to apply for my school?
Yes. I've already got a spell book and I can do a few things, but
You're already... Wait, when did you become a wizard?
I've been
Well, yeah, you said you've been studying under Edrigan. Edrigan has obviously been...
Yes, tell her the story of how you became a wizard.
He taught me... where do I start? Okay, not that long ago. When I was younger and my master died, I was looking through everything to try and figure out where to go from there, you know? Looked at some wizardry stuff, didn't quite get it, ended up going towards the faithful side of things, got answered by dark gods, you know how it goes, and, but traveling with Edrigan, seeing arcane magic and its actual applications, how the somatic components are done, all that stuff, I sort of figured out bits and pieces of ritual casting by piecing together what I already knew with what I'd seen and glanced at Edrigan doing and all that, and then I asked him, hey, can you teach me? And he kind of did, and then I kind of pieced the rest together, and to try to not die while fighting, how tall was it? He kind of starts measuring himself. A giant minotaur skeleton that was about 10 of me or so. I kind of clicked. Of course, with Edrigan's teaching.
Are you okay after all that? It sounds like that tomb put you guys through a bit of a ringer.
I think I need to count.
The story is much better than mine.
I think I need to count my scales again, but yeah, I'm pretty much fine.
Well, you still have your tail.
I do. Somehow. But hey, magical healing. Hooray.
Yep, that's fair. That is fair. I'm impressed, though. A little more impressed than I was before. It's not easy to pick up wizardry, and I'm pretty sure Edrigan could tell you that it takes years of concentrated study to master the craft.
Freak.
Well, I might not even have years, who knows? You know, kobold, gotta do everything quick. Or else, you know...
Under the right guidance, you can take your time on certain things, but... I get the gist of it. As she's saying this, Artemis returns, and she's like, I've got your cloak washed. It's hanging on the rack for you whenever you are ready to leave.
Oh look, we were talking about fast kobolds, and here he is.
I see you have met Artemis. Artemis gives a bow.
He seems, nice.
Nice enough. He's one of my, closest compatriots. As she looks at him, he looks back to you guys. We've been together for a while. To put a long story short, her master killed my master, and was going to kill me and my tribe, but instead, Mile convinced her master that our tribe could be of use to him if we just served him. So, despite some objections among my own tribe, and Some griefs I may or may not still harbor. Mile looks at him angrily when he says that. I serve her.
Well, that makes sense. That's better than the alternative.
Death is not a good alternative. The primary goal of me and my tribe is, in fact, to survive. Now, I did not catch your guys' name when you guys were walking in, though. He says as he turns to Mile, he's just asking, is it okay? And she's like, rolls eyes. Proceed. He's like, yes, names.
Well, I'm Triznag. Sorry, so rude of me. I was preoccupied. My thoughts were preoccupied. It's nice to
When he
meet
hears
you.
your name, he actually turns to Mile. This is Triznag. Yeah, that's Triznag. I was expecting a kobold that's a lot more impressive.
Damn.
Well, just wait until you start to hear more of me from around here, and then maybe you'll change your tune.
Oh, I think Miles just making a mistake, but that's just an opinion that I have. And he turns to Edric, again. And you are
Taller than you.
most humans are, but it still remains to be seen if you are smarter.
It sure does.
He turns to Creed, and you are Creed. Nice to meet you.
He's an idiot. We don't even need a contest for that one.
He's like, right. Well, Mile, I have everything prepared for you already. I can have any of the other kobold servants here bring you your dinner, as I have other things I need to attend to, if you don't mind. Mile, proceed. You've already said way more than I intended for you to. As he leaves. He's pleasant.
So how tall is Triznag in your stories?
She sinks her head lower.
I know I'm short. It doesn't really matter.
I mean, he's tall. I'm already tall for a kobold in the first place. So the fact that I'm taller than him, it's not something he should feel bad about. And Artemis is really tall for a kobold. So the fact that he's taller than me is nothing Triznag should be threatened about. Also, size doesn't mean anything. Being small as a kobold is better. It means you can be more squirmy. It means you live.
And my height doesn't really seem to matter much when I'm taking gigantic weapons into me anyways. So
Please stop doing that. You don't need to die.
I'm quite alive.
I need to thank that dwarven smith then. He apparently made good armor. Maybe get some for other people.
That's a good idea. She seems to be doing very well in business, but she's probably appreciating more work.
Oh, God. You say the word work, and all I can think of is how much work Master has dumped onto me by leaving me in charge. I appreciate that he trusts me. I appreciate the idea that he wants me to prove myself, but...
It can be quite a burden, having those expectations, I'm sure.
If I could rely on the kobolds that have come with me to do the job properly, it wouldn't be so bad. But every single time I send them to take care of my biggest problem right now, I end up just losing kobolds.
What's your biggest problem right now?
There's something going on.
Edrigan rolls his eyes so hard that they risk falling out of his head.
Yeah. Right now, there's something going on inside the sewers. I'm not sure what it is, but whenever I send kobolds down to investigate it, they don't come back up. We've already had a few rough encounters down in the sewers back when we were, well, trying to find survivors. We found a nest of carrion crawlers, which was the most pleasant thing ever. And we also found a few, I don't even know what they were down there. And I truly mean that. I don't know what they were.
That's concerning. We had a run-in with carrion crawlers once. It was very, very close.
Those were malnourished.
Damn it, I'm trying not to laugh. Well, the thing is, the kobolds I've sent down there, along with Dreg's leadership, have made quick work of a lot of the things they found down there. Dreg has busied himself with other things, though, which has left me in charge of trying to clear out whatever the hell is making such problems down there in his sewers. My problem is because I can't get a proper scout down there, and because I can't get the guards to go down there because they still are belligerent to listen to me exclusively, which is something I'm going to take exclusive note of. It's hard to get it taken care of without actually going down there myself, which I'm trying to hesitate on doing because I have a lot of things I need to be doing other than that. Like signing lots of paperwork.
Well,
Aren't Creed's people down in the sewers?
Creed. Creed is, now we moved.
well, I think it could be looked into, perhaps. And he kind of looks at Edrigan and Creed.
Creed gives a thumbs up.
Edrigan pulls out his black contract.
Right, I can do that for you. She says, pointing at the black contract, I can put a post for it on the board with sufficient payment, and it could be an official job.
Wait, you control the black one too?
I control the board for the city right now, yes. I mean, LeFou controls it too, but, like, I can post jobs on there for people.
Then
Well,
just stick the job up there and make mooks do it.
We're the mooks, Edrigan.
I don't want to be a mook. I want my keep.
If you want your keep, well, what's keeping you from going to your keep?
It's infested with bugbears and hobgoblins and whatever else. We're gonna get some orcs and some hirelings and clear it out. Also, hi, Kevin.
Hello.
Hi!
How about we make an arrangement then? Tosley is here too.
But is Xanther?
Soon.
No,
Okay.
still dead. Working on it.
We're waiting for you.
Alright. So, Miles says, how about we make an arrangement then? I can have that place cleared out for you very quickly if you guys take this job for me.
Well, I like the sound of that. What do you think, Edrigan?
Fine.
Deal?
I love quests and I love sewers. What could possibly go wrong?
Carrion crawler, she says, holding out her hand.
Just don't let them fall on you this time, Edrigan.
I hate you both so much. And he shakes her hand.
Alrighty. And with that, a job appears on your black contract. Investigate the sewers and clear out the problem.
Everything inside me says, wow, this is cool, but I hate it.
Right then. Let me think. Is there anything else you need to know about the city? I mean, you guys already know about the kind of disarray and there's a little bit of a divide going on. Some people are still really allied to LeFou. The majority of the people in the Low District are pretty okay with me being in charge, mostly because I'm directly keeping them from being killed by a dragon, which is something that LeFou failed at doing.
He was very big.
My master is very massive.
Mhm.
Is the food there?
Yep, food is there.
Shiznag will eat and not say anything, and his hand is shaking.
I noticed he was pretty big getting here, but I didn't seem to see him leave.
Miles shrugs her shoulders.
Probably went in another direction.
Maybe. My master is very busy.
Oh, I'm sure he is.
Edrigan eats the food.
Okie dokie. Mal kind of goes through the general pleasantries of the dinner for a little bit. Before as you guys are finishing and essentially moving on to dessert, Dreg walks in. Shoes on, covered in muck. As Mile looks at him, hi Dreg, I'm happy to see you join us. Dreg takes off his cloak, purposely flaps all of the mud on the floor.
I see you don't like Artemis either.
Dreg smiles and sits at the table. She's like, so how was scouting for you? Dreg silently just eats his food. Well, I guess I was gonna wait on this, but since we're already eating dessert and such, it's worth saying, I got you a present, Trisnak. Dreg gives her a death stare.
Edrigan is extremely fascinated in the work and craftsmanship of his knife.
Thank you.
Right. Let me just. You see her kind of wave a finger and mutter something under her breath. Anyone who knows spellcasting can probably take a guess about what spell she just used.
Is that an Arcana?
Yep, Arcana.
Nope.
Trisnag, I don't know spells. I know spells, but I don't know that spell.
It's because you're a freak. You don't know anything. I am really, really interested in this knife.
So, after 2 minutes...
And comparing it to the fork.
After 2 minutes, Artemis comes down carrying a very large black cauldron with a wooden... with like a wooden cover on top of it that's kind of been roped shut. And you can hear movement inside as he sees the trail of filth left by Dreg. You bastard! Dreg smiles. Clean that up. Artemis drops the black cauldron and goes to go get a mop. His mom goes, no, don't drop the... Dreg looks back to as he very quietly says, are you really going to give him that as a gift? I think he'll like it, she says with an awkward smile on her face.
What is it?
Open it up, she says, clasping her hands.
Okay.
He will go and attempt to open the very large cauldron.
All right, let me open up this book so I can accurately describe this to you. And nope, that's not. Where is that? Am I looking in the wrong book? I think I'm looking in the wrong book. There it is. Okay. So you go ahead and so you say you open the cauldron, right?
Yeah.
All right. You open the cauldron, and inside you see a medium-sized white-scaled draconic-looking creature.
Oh, what's this?
Surprise!
Edgerton tries to look inside.
You can roll me a knowledge arcana to identify the creature.
All right, let's identify. That's better.
Much better. Both of those are passes. This creature is called a guard drake. It is a reptilian creature created out of the scales of a dragon.
Edgerton spits out his drink.
Oh. Wow.
I got you a guard drake. White dragon scale. White scale guard drake.
Do I want to know where the scales came from?
No.
I didn't think so. Well, thank you. I've actually been kind of worried about guarding things lately. So this will be a huge help, actually.
He hatched a couple of days ago, so he still hasn't bonded to anybody yet, so he's still yours to bond to. He also does not have a name yet. I figured you'd probably want to do that.
Oh, I'll have to think of one. This is so sudden. Oh my gosh. But yes. I will. How do I bond to him? Do I just hang out?
Yeah, just hang out with him, spend time with him, feed him. Pretty much just feed him.
Okay, I'll feed him. I don't know what to say. Thank you. I will.
Go ahead and feed him right now. She says
Okay.
and tosses you a piece of meat.
He'll feed the Drake.
As you feed it, it looks at you as its eyes kind of flash, and it pushes its snout into up against your hips.
Oh, it's cute.
It is a medium-sized creature, so it's actually big enough for you to ride on.
He will pet it.
It seems to respond well as sneezes.
Let's see. Can I do a medicine check to see if that's a cold or something?
Sure.
Okay. Let's see here.
Nothing medically wrong. It's probably just a reaction to all the different smells and stuff. After all, up until this point, it's been in just a giant metal cauldron.
Well, there's nothing wrong with it. It's very, well, kept.
She nods. See, now, Drag said that pets are the worst present, but I figured that this is a good present.
Yeah. I think so. Should I was in the middle of eating. Should I keep eating? I don't know where do I put it?
It sits down next to you and just kind of like in standard guard dog position, a well-trained guard dog position.
He will continue to eat, occasionally looking at it, nervous.
It's I think I have to bond to it too. It's very strange, but I do appreciate it very much.
It's no problem. it's going to take 2 to 3 weeks of proper training in order for it to fully, get everything. But I have confidence with your skill that you'll be able to take proper care of it.
I should be able to. I've handled animals before. I usually drive our wagon, carriage, cart.
Well, we do have some. She kind of laughed. We actually do have some kobolds back in Kerr that actually ride on the backs of, well, guard drakes, but they're kind of rare and in between.
I can imagine so, given they need the scales of a dragon.
Well, I mean, we had no absence of scales at a certain point.
Makes sense.
At that remark, you actually see Artemis. You can. Roll me a perception, everybody.
Oh, I was gonna wait for him. Is he in the room again? Yeah.
Yeah, he's in the room.
Because I was gonna say something as long as he was there. I'll just say it anyway.
So what color are those? Are they red or green?
Tosley notices that Artemis seems very upset when she says this. And she's like, green.
And he just keeps eating.
And yeah, Tosley knows Artemis was very upset when she said that.
No idea what to do with this information.
Exactly. As it should be. Alright.
We're gonna die.
We're gonna die.
I'm in danger.
Alrighty. So the rest of the day finishes off without much trouble or anything of the such. As Dreg mostly just having mostly just had dessert. Just says, I hate sweet things. I would much prefer to have had some meat. As Mao remarks, perhaps you should not come late to dinner then. Dreg rolls his eyes. Perhaps you should learn how to be with a single person on a dinner then. And then leaves.
Awkward.
Did he think that this was a special dinner?
Yeah, I'm here.
Well, of course. But, no, like, for him and her.
That sounds like an insight check.
Edrican, do you know how kobold mating procedures go?
No!
You see, there was a discussion on it, and Tasley closed her ears.
Yep.
Oh god.
Well, it depends on the tribe, and he just keeps eating, even if there's nothing left. He'll just scoop the plate.
Wow, this is a delicious plate, Kron.
Ma, would you like something to go with you, Tristan?
No, I'm okay. If I could have 5 minutes to talk with you, that would be good too.
She looks at the rest of you guys.
Edrican GTFOs.
Yeah.
Tasley feels very awkward all of a sudden.
Creed is going to roll a check.
No, Edrican is going to drag a Creed.
You are a smart person.
By the ear.
Alright. So, the rest of them leave, leaving just you and Mile.
Okay. So, I had many questions.
Mm-hmm.
I was going to tell a boring story about my master hunting some hunters who had encroached on his territory and how he used snow and all this stuff to camouflage, but I think I'm quite a little too nervous at the moment, and you know me, I'm very blunt. I don't do the whole subterfuge thing.
You're fine to talk to me.
Right. I got you a gift too. It's nowhere near this. Here, pet the dragon and slide the sapphires across the table. They reminded me of your eyes, actually. But anyway,
She lets out
aside-
a little squee and just immediately hugs you.
He'll hug back, and is very visibly now almost violently shaking.
Another thing. So Edrican was so astute to point out what I had already noticed as well. That Daresh Soul had not flown back. And the reason I was going to bring up the story of the camouflage was, I think he's still in the city.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't sure where, but I've spoken to LeFou to giving back on the job we came with, and then I spoke to Talcom, and I got one little inconsistency that's got me a little on edge. LeFou said that the idea of rebuilding the lower district was Daresh Soul's idea. Talcom said it's your idea.
Mm-hmm.
Where is your master? I won't tell anyone. Just where is he?
Persuasion check.
All right. Kind of fail this.
Yep.
Time to get a net 20.
Trisnag, I like you, but my master would kill me. Like, straight up.
Okay.
The last time I did something that my master told me not to do, he took my fingers. He didn't take all of them because he knows I need them to cast.
Okay. You don't need to tell me anything. I just want to know one other thing, so I can sleep well at night and not fear for my life. There's a lot of what's the word? It seems like there's a lot of animosity in this tower at the moment. Lots of kobolds. I feel slightly awkward. But
Do you need guards?
I'm wondering. No. What does your master think of me? Am I a problem?
I told my master that I had interest in another kobold. He laughed first, and then he said he wanted to meet you.
Okay. That's okay. That's enough.
I'll be able to find out eventually what he thinks.
Okay. That's actually a wealth of information that I will not freak out over. It does tell me roughly enough. Okay. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. What else was I gonna say? Oh, the thing with my master, when I said that, obviously my master killed the other dragons, you don't have to worry too much about that. One, because your master lives in the south, and two, that other green dragon that he killed directly disobeyed my master, which was a stupid idea. Don't do that. So that's why he killed him.
Of course, and yes, we definitely don't have to worry about him killing my master.
Oh, right. No, let's do something stupid!
It's okay. I mean, that's a good thing, right? Assuming I actually succeed in my quest, then your master will have helped in some way towards that, so they'll have, reason to cooperate, right?
I sincerely hope that.
Yeah.
I'm probably holding you up too late, aren't I?
I don't know. Do you think it's weird if I stay in here too long? Okay, I'll go. He'll. Huh?
Bye.
Bye.
And he'll skitter out the door with the Drake.
All right. Follows you quite stoically, having not followed a lick of that because it's dumb as shit. In case you're wondering what an intelligence score is, it's a 4.
Yeah, so sounds about right.
Alrighty. Rest of you guys, are you guys waiting outside of Miles' tower for him, or did you guys just return back to Chateau Noir?
No, let's go back to the house. I don't know what they're doing.
Smart. Alright. So you guys return back to the house. You see that some light furnishing has been put in. A few small tables. The dining table has been put in, along with a couple of chairs, and every room now has a bed.
I'm gonna try and stick the dragon skull in the wine cellar, because that's where dragons go.
You might require some assistance with that.
Triznag will help.
I have a Tasley.
He sure
Kesley
does.
will pick it up.
Strength check with advantage.
Toot, 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 toot.
That's passed. And you guys get that dragon skull in that cellar. And as you guys, and pretty much as you guys succeed and do this is when Triznag returns with his little guard drake companion.
Is that how long it takes to be in the egg chamber?
What? No, no. I was asking about other things. I don't need to know anything about that.
Good.
And anyway, everything should be fine. Apparently, Daresh Soul wants to meet me, which means I haven't met him yet, I guess. So that's. I don't know if that's true or not, but I'll believe it.
Unless that's a euphemism.
What does that mean?
One day
Oh.
she'll reveal her secrets.
Oh. Okay, I might need a tutorial on that egg chamber. Anyway, what are we doing? I see you've moved my master skull. Thank you.
Going the fuck to sleep?
What about, when are you, what about Xanther? We went on that whole quest, right?
I'm not doing a necromancer ritual here in this town.
Why?
1, White Orchid infiltrators. 2, actually, that's kind of it.
There's none in this building. We have a cellar, we have Tasley, you have me.
If I get destroyed by evil black fog, it's your fault.
Right. Why would there be evil black fog?
White Orchids!
Can they just do that?
They did it in a mug bug! Do you not remember the church?
We don't know how they did it.
No, we don't. Isn't that terrifying?
I guess. Well, that's up to you. You've got the book. I'm just your apprentice. I'll go to sleep.
Alright. Do you actually want to do the ritual though? Or at least start doing it and just not give a fuck?
I don't want to die.
But what about Xanther?
Poor Kevin.
He's already dead.
No.
Oh my womo. Alrighty. Well, we are 3 hours and 30 minutes into this, so I think now is a good time to stop if you're not going to do the ritual or anything like that.
Ritual.
Fine, I'll do the ritual.
So the first thing you have to do is you have to retrieve Xanther's body, which you just.
That's easy.
Yep.
Say Xanther and Infernal.
You say Xanther and Infernal, and the body plops down in front of you, perfectly preserved as when you as the day when he died.
Okay. Find one of the guest rooms upstairs and start drawing some. Or actually, think I still need. Okay, I have that. I need to go get stuff from the alchemy store first.
Alrighty. So, with that said, Edrigan, you go to. There's actually an alchemy store in the High Districts. If you would rather just go to that one because it's closer.
Neat.
And it's still open. How about that?
Trisnag will tag along because he wants to be proper apprentice and just help.
I go in.
All right, you enter in, and the place is fairly quiet, but it has that same similar scent as the prismatic flask in the lower district. Was I think the one lower just a prismatic hourglass, and this one is a prismatic flask. If I get my notes correctly, yes, that is correct. So this one's a prismatic flask. Okay. Lots of potions on the wall. It looks fairly similar, except you can tell that the place is generally larger. There is one elf gentleman standing behind the counter, and one tiefling also standing behind the counter as well. You can see that their hands are at work underneath the tables, though.
Well, you look busy.
We always gotta be working. This is an alchemy shop, after all.
I require gold powder and a shattered emerald.
Shattered emerald. Value on both?
It just kind of gives them an emerald. I actually didn't get values for these.
Let me open up. You will
I definitely would have wrote that down.
You will need an emerald of 500 gold pieces in value to be shattered, or at least 500 gold pieces worth of emerald dust.
Right.
And you will need 1,000 gold pieces worth of gold dust. Yeah.
I give them that.
Alrighty. It takes them about 5 minutes, but you hear some crushing and such going on underneath the table, as eventually 2 sacks are produced for you. Your emerald powder and your gold powder.
And your money.
Thank
you. Sorry, Edrigan. I know I said I'd be quiet and help you out today, but I actually just remembered something I need to buy too while we're here. Sorry.
Then buy it. And then he leaves.
I'll catch up. Herbalism kit. I need herbalism kit.
You hear him whistle as the little half-elf girl from the shop in the lower district comes from out of the back. Yes, sir.
You're still around. That's good. Xanther will be happy. I need to purchase an herbalism kit.
She nods as she runs into the back and brings out an herbalism kit, and essentially just hands it over to you. I believe the cost of an herbalism kit is 50 gold pieces, or is it 10 gold pieces?
I think it's 25. Let me check real quick. Tools. I'm on the page. Herbalism kit is what the hell? 5? Okay.
Really? That is genuinely surprising.
That's really weird. Oh, it's the alchemist ones that's 50. Herbalism is 5. So apparently, I guess it's because you can't make alchemist fire and stuff with it. It's just healing potions and medicine.
That sounds a bit more fair. Yeah.
I thought it was more expensive too. That's weird.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's what threw me. That what threw me for a loop. All right.
It's on page 154 if you're curious. Yeah.
154. That's why I can't find them on the wrong page.
But how much does a bag of holding cost?
A lot.
All the money.
Why is that there instead of? Okay, I'm not even gonna ask.
But you did.
Okay, yeah. Okay, so she hands you the herbalism because she's like, oh, that's, yeah, here you go. And yeah, I'm happy to hear that you guys are back. More that you guys survived the dragon attack. I just work here at nights, for the moment, until they tell me I don't have to.
Okay, well, I'll let him know. Thank you for the herbalism kit. I have to catch up with my my teacher. I'll be right back. Or not back. I'll be back at a later point. Thank you. Goodbye. And he'll run after Edrigan.
All right, Edrigan, where you at?
Do you like think about all the spaghetti as they spill out, or does it just come naturally to you?
It's pre-planned.
Okay.
You're talking
Entirely
about? Are you talking
intentional.
about me or?
No.
Oh.
Edrigan is walking home. Or Chateau Noir.
I guess running he'd catch up eventually.
Yep. All right, and you catch up with Edrigan.
Now I can grind things up for you during the ritual if you need me to, as well now. Got a mortar and pestle in here, and yeah.
I think you need more than a mortar and pestle to grind up a gemstone, though.
I'll figure it out. And I'll keep everyone out, and I'll get you water because it's gonna take a while, right? So I'm not going to interfere. I just want to help. I want to do the proper thing to do.
Okay. You guys want to just kind of? I'm not saying skip over the ritual, but skip a little closer to the ritual. Just saying you got everything set up.
Yeah.
So there, gotta draw some circles.
All right. You also embed the umbral jewel into
Penumbral shard.
Yeah, the umbral shard into Xanther's chest, and you begin casting the ritual. I need you to roll me an Arcana check.
I'm gonna roll an Arcana check, and I'm gonna do really shitty because it's really important.
Trisnag helping you actually will give you advantage on the roll.
Yeah.
I like advantage. It makes me happy. Fuck it up. Yeah, I didn't fuck it up.
Both of those were good.
Woo!
All right. For a brief moment, you see the umbral shard light up, and Kaze, would you say something in Xanther's voice to them?
Edrigan kind of stands over the body and goes, "Rise and shine, fuckboy."
The fuck?
Ah! Didn't work!
Xanther, you stand to your feet.
One second.
Boss is back! Boss is back!
One second. Stretch. Creak.
Restroom is down the hall to the right.
Oh my gosh, we actually brought someone back! Like, properly, not like a dumb skeleton.
Keep in mind, you're gonna have to do this for 2 more days in a row to stabilize this ritual.
Yeah.
Well, really, if properly, it would have been like resurrection or something. This is the most improper way of bringing somebody back.
It's proper enough!
Me.
Wait, what? What do you mean?
We're going to make you more, Xanther.
More?
More. Don't worry.
I like the sound of more.
Don't
but
worry.
I also hear process, and process usually means pain, so...
Oh, don't worry. Is it some creed of yours that's pain is beauty or something?
No, death is beauty. Love is eternal.
Oh, don't worry. The death part definitely applies. You are still dead.
Really? Press his fingers to neck.
You feel no pulse, and you feel coldness. And inside your stomach, you feel a hunger for something like you've never felt before.
Oh. By the way, is there any food?
I'll see what I can do.
Thank you.
No food. No food. Not until
No
we're
food.
done.
Okay.
I don't know if it'll fuck anything up.
Okay.
Oh.
You'll live. Well, no, but you know.
No.
How long
The
did you say?
The troglodyte saw to that.
When you hear the word troglodyte, you are filled with intense hatred.
I am?
Yes.
Do I even know what the fuck a troglodyte is?
Yes.
They killed you.
I hope
Okay.
so.
Okay, good. And have they changed troglodytes for 5e?
No, they are still the ugly lizard stink beast that they have always been.
Right, utter rage. Well, I don't remember that from learning about them, but, you know, what the fuck ever.
Tosley actually rushes out of the room and gets you a mirror. She's like, I fear your boss might want to see himself.
Oh, yes. Somebody grab a comb. I'm gonna need to fix my hair, I imagine.
So looking at yourself in the mirror, you notice that your complexion is a little off. Obviously, skin is a bit grayish, no longer filled with healthy life. The hair looks fine though. But inside your eyes, kind of behind your irises, gleams like a red glowing light.
Ooh, that's new. What have you done to me, Edrigan?
I'll explain later.
Later?
Lay back
Well,
down.
I'm
Lay back
excited.
down. We're not dead.
I'm dead. What?
Lay back down. We're not done. I don't know why I said dead.
Oh, we're not done? Oh. Well, I suppose so.
I've still got 2 more days of standing over you creepily, chanting arcane mantras.
Tosley, don't worry.
I'm
I'll
not
make
sure
you
how
can
to
get
feel
in.
about this.
Tosley, I'll stand guard so no one gets inside the building.
I
Thank
have
you,
so,
Dina.
I have so
Luckily,
many
you know,
questions, but I can wait. I'm patient.
Luckily, have you... I forgot what I was saying halfway through saying it. Luckily, you liking it has nothing to do with what I need to do.
As usual.
It's nice to know some things about Xanther will never change. Alright, and I think that is the best place to call it for today. Goodbye, everybody.
Hooray.
Hey.